From the Auburn Sports Network and Play Fly Sports, Auburn baseball is on the air. Exclusive game day coverage begins with the leadoff show. Now, let's go out to the ballpark.
After a most extraordinary weekend, number 2 Auburn baseball preps for its final guaranteed home game of the season tonight. The Tigers gear up for Jacksonville State. Good evening and War Eagle from Sanford Stadium, Hitchcock Field at Plainsman Park. With John Cohen and Brad Law, I'm Andy Bertram. Auburn was most offensive in its sweep of South Carolina last weekend. The Tigers scored a school record 46 runs against the Gamecocks. Auburn posted a 9 straight home series wins, and the Tigers have 16 SEC wins for the 4th time under Butch Thompson. Eric Gavar was named the SEC and National Player of the Week after hitting 800 for the weekend. Jacksonville State comes to town after taking 2 of 3 from Louisiana Tech. The Gamecocks have won 5 of their last 6. Under the direction of Steve Beazer, Jack State has recorded the 3rd best turnaround in the country, improving 13 games over last season. Auburn goes with freshman right-hander Andres Alvarez tonight, Seminole, Florida native, 1-1, a 6.97 earned run average. Jacksonville State counters with Carson Bonaparte, the junior right-hander, 3-2 with an ERA of 4.35. When we return, the Butch Thompson pregame report. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Children's of Alabama is excited to partner with Auburn baseball because at Auburn, it's about making a difference on and off the field. The team is thrilled to introduce Hits and Sits, where all proceeds will benefit Children's of Alabama. Step up to the plate and sponsor a home game. You can sign up by visiting bc5foundation.org. Choose a game and a strikeout or a hit. It will be echoed beyond Plainsman Park into the lives of families at Children's of Alabama. Sign up today at bc5foundation.org. War Eagle.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories, like cookouts, cornhole with friends, ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad, the one with the feta. Oh, sorry.
Got it.
Good.
Yep.
Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Since Auburn Bank opened in 1907, we've been tested by world wars, pandemics, and plenty of troubled times. Through it all, we've not only survived, but thrived by staying true to our core values of sound money management and putting our customers first. And just as surely as more challenges will come, we'll meet them the way we always have, with your confidence and our experience. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC, online at auburnbank.com.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legend, the places, the faces, and moments. And he's going for it. It's a touchdown! We've seen the confetti fall again and again. We're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
Game day coverage of Auburn baseball continues now with our exclusive pregame conversation with head coach Butch Thompson.
It's a fun time of the year, isn't it?
It's awesome. You know, I think about what's the message to the team, and what I would share with them, I share with you now. It's just when a big game becomes just another game. I think that's where we've gotten to. And, you know, that's also most of our teams in our league. But how many big games have we played, perceived big games? And I think when a team and a dugout and hitters and pitchers kind of see it as another game, I think there's some strength behind that. And then we outlined how many guys are just swinging the bat well. And we talk about the old saying, the strength of the wolf is the pack. And, you know, we're not counting on – we've gotten to the point where we're not counting on Ike Irish to do all the damage offensively and carry us, or Cooper McMurray, or whoever you want to say there. We got so many guys that, especially recently, that have just swung the bat well. There's a pack mentality that I want them to take into a ball game. But this Jacksonville State game is not just another game. They're all big. We've created that through good work, but we have to play with that free and easiness of just knowing it's another game on this journey tonight.
What did you learn about this Jacksonville State team from that first game there in Jacksonville?
It's just tight. The big physical guys swing the bat. And we might see 6 or 7 left-handed hitters in the lineup, and especially at the top, they have a bona fide base runner, and really the bottom of their lineup, they've done well. They haven't lost a series since we left Jacksonville. And to that comes confidence, we know, from having success. And they've continued to swing the bat at the top and run and create offense at the bottom, which has created some depth of their lineup. So they've done a nice job. And, you know, they got a big series this weekend against Western Kentucky. So they're fighting for position of their tournament. And I think Western Kentucky is one of the best teams in their conference. So they got a lot to play for. So, and escaping there with a 1-run game, they played the game very sound, very well. So I'm not surprised that Coach Beazer and those guys have had success since we've met last. So this is another big game for both teams tonight.
And a game that features two teams that have turned things around from a year ago.
Yeah, no doubt. And when we met with our weekly this morning, we talked about, going through challenges and tough times create stronger guys. And I just give the leadership of this team all the credit. Those guys that were here last year, Guevara coming off knee surgery, not playing 100%. Cooper McMurray went through that last year and said, I'm coming back for a third year. Ike Irish, I'm keeping my flag in the ground and I want to be part of Auburn. Auburn's been good to me, and this is where I was supposed to play my college baseball. Cade Ballou. I just keep thinking of all these returners that absolutely held on, and they started in August. This is good for me to continue to document. They started with a plan and a purpose of what they wanted this to look like. They want us to host our third regional in 4 years, which has never happened before. They want some of those things to happen, and they didn't want to just scatter and leave it to somebody else. They wanted to be part of it, and so far, so good.
What do you want to see out of Andreas Alvarez tonight?
Yeah, I want him to see him sharp. He should be fresh now, and it's a freshman that's been able to be used a lot and pitch a lot as a freshman and start games in the SEC. We need him tonight to be fresh, get the fastball hopping, but pitch a little bit, keep that count in his favor, but come out and get us not only win the first inning, but give us some length here. After tonight, we'll be 48 hours into another SEC series. So if he can come out and do a good job, he draws the start tonight because we feel like he's got a chance to, with a good fresh arm, to get us out the gate and get us some distance in this ball game.
As you and I talk, you've got a couple starters getting their bullpen work. Talk about the importance of this day for a guy like Sam Dutton or a Christian Chatterton and their work in the bullpen as they get ready for this weekend.
Growing up, when you were watching Maddox and Smokes and all those guys, or any professional that you liked, all you saw was the game on TV. Right. The hay's been put in the barn, the work, all that is the game day is not where it happens. This happens far away. Muhammad Ali says, I'd already won or lost when I stepped into the ring by the work that I'd put in before. So these guys are setting their stuff, and it's crazy. We're sitting here getting ready to play Jacksonville State. They're down there running through Ole Miss's hitters. So our coaches got to be in the moment because they got pitchers that are preparing for later in the week and everywhere in between. So it's a little juggling act, but for the young pitcher out there, somebody that may want to be at Auburn someday and play in this conference, the game day is kind of the fun day. That's where we leave you alone. Practice is for the coaches and the games for the players. Your work that you put in, the preparation, the quality of the start that these two guys are going to have with Dutton and Chatterton are happening here today on a Tuesday, 5 hours away from Oxford. So it's the work you put in between starts. That gets you so much prepared. And, I always think bullpen's a preparation, not an indication. What you do is try to prepare, and then allow that experience to take over when you hit the field.
All the best tonight, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Children's of Alabama is excited to partner with Auburn Baseball because at Auburn, it's about making a difference on and off the field. The team is thrilled to introduce Hits and Sits, where all proceeds will benefit Children's of Alabama. Step up to the plate and sponsor a home game. You can sign up by visiting bc5foundation.org. Choose a game and a strikeout or a hit. It will be echoed beyond Plainsman Park into the lives of families at Children's of Alabama. Sign up today at bc5foundation.org. War Eagle.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks. But who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SEC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/SEC Sports.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
The starting lineups are presented by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
All right, we'll start with Jacksonville State, giving you these Yellowwood lineups, by the way, from the front row of the Hall of Fame Club, and we're steps away from home plate, giving you a little different perspective at points in the ballgame tonight. The leadoff hitter for Jack State, the Gamecocks 31-21 on the season, is the left fielder, Drew Collins. Batting second is a designated hitter, Carson Hornick. Cooper Blauser bats third. He's the second baseman. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Brady Thomas. The catcher, Grayson Ash, hits fifth. Hitting sixth, it is the shortstop, Caleb Johnson. Ace Williamson is the center fielder. He bats seventh. Batting eighth at third base, it's Sam Silas. And Colton Hegwood, the right fielder, rounds out the order. Again, for the Gamecocks, Collins, Hornig, Blauser, Thomas, Ash, Johnson, Williamson, Silas, and Hegwood. Now for your Auburn Tigers, a familiar lineup throughout the last month or so, especially Chris Rembert at the top of the lineup. He's in right field tonight. Batting second, it is the reigning National Player of the Week, Eric Guevara, the third baseman. Ike Irish starts in left field tonight. He will bat third. The cleanup hitter is Cooper McMurray, the first baseman. Batting fifth, the DH, Lucas Steele. Eric Snow starts at second. He will bat sixth. Hitting seventh and starting in center field, it's Bub Terrell. Chase Freilich catches and bats eighth, and Derek Fabian, the shortstop, rounds out the order. Again, for Butch Thompson's Tigers, 36-15 on the season. It is Rembert, Guevara, Irish, McMurray, Steele, Snow, Terrell, Freilich, and Fabian. The head coaches have finished up their meeting with the umpires at home plate. We will send it to our last pregame timeout, and we'll have first pitch on a beautiful night for baseball at Plainsman Park. It is the regular season home finale between Auburn and Jacksonville State. This is the Auburn Sports.
The tradition, the rivalry. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SEC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/SEC Sports.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Former Auburn quarterback, former assistant coach, Larry Blakeney. Your name is now part of the field at Troy.
Yes, sir.
You look back, that's a Hall of Fame career for you,
Yes.
Larry.
I appreciate it, man. I don't know how all that happened, but we enjoyed it. I think that's how you get to be whatever. You know, you go about your daily task and you feel good about what you're doing and who you're working for and who you're working with. And of course, Jack Hawkins, the president, Johnny Williams, my AD, and others, certainly assistant coaches and players, made a lot of difference in my life.
A new episode of the Talking Tigers podcast is released every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Like and subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast, only from the Auburn Sports Network.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Alabama Power, proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Alabama Power, power for a better Alabama. And by Cook's Pest Control, keeping your home and business safe from pests and termites since 1928.
Welcome back to Plainsman Park, Auburn and Jacksonville State. It's the last regular season home game for the Tigers. Here's the defense for Auburn. Cooper McMurray at first, Eric Snow at second, Eric Guevara at third, Derek Fabian at short, Ike Irish in left, Bub Terrell in center, Chris Rembert in right, Chase Fralick behind the plate on the hill for the Tigers. Number 21, Andres Alvarez, freshman right-hander, 5'10", 192 from Seminole, Florida, and Northside Christian School. Alvarez 1-1 on the season, a 6.97 earned run average. This will be his 7th start, 12th appearance. 31 innings, 27 runs, 24 earned on 36 hits. Struck out 26, walked 14. He has given up 4 homers, and opponents hitting .290 against Andres Alvarez. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Tonight's first pitch weather forecast brought to you by Blue Moon. Everything becomes brighter every sip of their Belgian-style wheat ale crafted with Valencia orange peel and coriander. Plus, try the new Blue Moon Light and Blue Moon non-alcoholic. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I'm Andy Burcham. Brad Law is roaming, literally roaming, with the wireless microphone tonight. And in our booth, we're very glad to bring back Auburn Athletic Director, former head baseball coach, many places, John Cohen. Glad to have you with us tonight,
great
John.
to be here, Andy. What a beautiful night for baseball.
Isn't it, though? Isn't it, though? Drew Collins will lead it off. First pitch from Alvarez, a fastball fouled into the glove of the catcher for strike one. Umpires tonight, Brian Hale behind the plate, Jeff Head down at first, Eric Gaucher at second, and Javero January is down at third. Collins, Hornig, and Blauser in the first. First 0-1 pitch misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike from Alvarez. Auburn with the blue pins, or the white pinstripe trousers, blue jerseys tonight, white lettering on the front, the back, orange number on the front. There's a swing, line drive into right, hung a breaking ball, and it's a leadoff single for Drew Collins. And boy, you don't want this guy aboard with 19 stolen bases on the season.
Yeah, Andy, the good sign is this, though. You want to fill up the strike zone early, and that's exactly what Alvarez is trying to do. The young arm is always more concerned about the stuff than the location. And, there's nobody in the business better than Butch Thompson at teaching people how to locate the pitch. So we want to fill it up early here.
Carson Hornig 0 for 4 in the first game against Auburn. The DH is batting .307, 6 homers, 26 runs batted in. There's a breaking ball with a swing and a miss. Collins is 19 of 23 in stolen bases. He is one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the lineup for Jack State tonight with double-digit stolen bases. Throw over, and Collins is back. Just the started thing at the ballpark. Beautiful night for baseball, I should tell you. 75 degrees at game time tonight. Wind out of the southwest at 8 miles an hour, and mostly sunny skies overhead. Another throw to first, closer but safe.
Folks still roaming in.
Yes, indeed. Last guaranteed home game for Auburn. I think we're all
hopeful,
very hopeful
at
this point. But there are more home games coming. Stretch. And the 0-1. The outside corner, ball and a strike. Hornig 0 for 4 in the first go-around against Auburn, the DH for Jacksonville State. Leadoff single for Collins. He's at first. Alvarez off the stretch. Here's the pitch. Popped up and out of play off the left side. Out on the top row of the Tiger Terrace and bounces out of the stadium. A ball and 2 strikes to Hornig. Alvarez gave up the leadoff single for Collins. He's at first. The ball and 2 strikes now to Hornig, the pitch. Fly ball into center. Bub Terrell ranges back a few steps. Measures this one, makes the catch for the first out. Terrell, who has been a starter in the outfield all year long, primarily in left, but getting his first start, I believe, in center field tonight.
You know, Andy, that's so much fun when you're a corner outfielder and the coach gives you the nod to go to center, because center is so much easier to play. You know, the sideline, the angles, everything's so much easier. So I bet Bub's thrilled to be getting this opportunity. Let's face it, at some point in his career, he's going to end up being in center field anyway.
1 out for Cooper Blauser. Throw to first, close, but safe. Blauser 0 for 3 in the first go-around against Auburn, batting .288, 4 homers, 27 runs batted in. He is the team leader with 22 stolen bases. 1 out, 1 on, runner bluffed but did not go. Off-speed pitch, falls in for strike 1. Sund to contend with. The third base at shortstop, maybe even center, but certainly in left for Ike Irish tonight. Stretch and pitch. Wild out of play off the right side. 0-2 the count. Alvarez has gotten ahead of each of the 3 hitters so far this inning. 0-2 to Blauser with Brady Thomas waiting on deck. Stretch by Alvarez and a throw to first. No tag applied by McMurray. And the runner is back. Folks continue to file into Plainsman Park. It's going to be another capacity crowd, I believe, by the time this night's over. 0-2. Ground ball could be 2. Second to short to first. Double play. 4-6-3. Snow, Fabian to McMurray. And the inning comes to a close. No runs a hit, no errors, and no one left. We go to the bottom of the first. No score as Auburn comes to the plate. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Postseason golf is back on the Plains. Your Auburn men's golf team is ready to tee off as they host the NCAA Regionals from Monday, May 12th through Wednesday, May 14th at the Auburn University Club. The quest for back-to-back national titles starts right here on the Plains, and admission is free for all fans. Cheer on your overall #1 seeded Tigers as they face off against a 12-team field, including Texas A&M, UCLA, SMU, Oregon, and more. Experience the best collegiate golf in the country for free from Monday, May 12th through Wednesday, May 14th at the Auburn University Club. For more information, visit auburntigers.com. Oh.
Since Auburn Bank opened in 1907, we've been tested by world wars, pandemics, and plenty of troubled times. Through it all, we've not only survived, but thrived by staying true to our core values of sound money management and putting our customers first. And just as surely as more challenges will come, we'll meet them the way we always have, with your confidence and our experience. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC, online at auburnbank.com.
Auburn gave up a leadoff single, but got a double play to get out of the top half of the first. Jacksonville State's defense finds Brady Thomas at first, Cooper Blauser at second, Sam Silas at third, and Caleb Johnson at short. Drew Collins in left, Ace Williamson in center, Colton Hegwood in right, Grayson Ash behind the plate, and on the hill for Jacksonville State. He was a midweek or a weekend starter early in the season. Number 39, Carson Bonaparte. Right-hander, 6'5" or 6 foot, 225 pounds, a junior from Lincoln, Illinois, a transfer from Walters State Community College. Bonaparte this year, 3-2, 4.35 earned run average. This will be his 8th start and his 13th appearance. 41 in the third innings, 31 runs, 20 earned on 45 hits, 30 strikeouts, 13 walks. He's given up 6 homers, and opponents hitting .274 against right-hander Carson Bonaparte. Auburn will send up Chris Rembert, Eric Guevara, and Ike Irish. After scoring 46 runs, John, on the weekend, is focus at all a concern? Kind of you're in a potential sandwich game with Ole Miss coming up on the weekend.
Yeah, you feel different ways about that because you can't bank those runs, and you got to earn them. And it doesn't matter if you play in Jacksonville State in the middle of the week or an SEC team. You got to earn those runs. You got to keep doing things that allow you to score runs. But what a clinic this offense put on last weekend.
Chris Rembert could have easily been the SEC Player of the Week. He had over 600 on the weekend, but Guevara hit 800. He's on deck. First pitch to Rembert. Misses low end away for ball one. Rembert 1 for 3 at Jacksonville State. Auburn played that game. Remember, that was the game Auburn played before going to Texas for the weekend. Oh, no. Copper foul. Off the end of the Auburn dugout. A ball and a strike to Rembert. Batting .358 this year. 9 homers, 36 runs batted in. Hitting near 400 in SEC play as a true freshman.
That's not bad.
That's the understatement of the night. 1-1 to Rembert. Swept away, down as well. 2 balls and a strike to Chris.
What was the famous quote about Herschel Walker? Good God, he's a freshman.
That's right. You'd say that about a couple of the Auburn players this year.
Yes.
2 balls and a strike to Rembert. Stretch and the pitch from Bonaparte. It misses low. 3 balls and a strike. Jacksonville State in the road grays tonight. Black ball caps. 3-1 pitch to Rembert. Here it is. And he took a strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That was your good buddy, Mr. Munson, who said that, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Larry Munson. He said a lot of things.
He did.
3-2 the count to Rembert. Stretch in the pitch. It misses low, and Rembert with a leadoff walk for Auburn in the first inning. And that brings the national, not just the SEC Player of the Week, the National Player of the Week to the plate. And Eric Guevara, who hit 800 last weekend. 800.
He had them in every direction. I mean, he sent ball pole side the opposite way in the middle of the field. I mean, just couldn't get him out.
He was 1 for 4 against Jack State first time around with an RBI. Throw to first, and Rembert is back. As a team, Jacksonville State with 8 pickoffs this season. Third baseman Silas close to the line as Bonaparte stretches. And the pitch. It misses low. Ball and no strikes to Guevara. His average up to .346. 5 homers, 24 runs batted in for the Auburn sophomore corner infielder. Stretch. 1-0 pitch. A little bit high. 2-0 the count. Glad to have you along tonight on the Auburn Sports Network. Along with John Cohen, Brad Law is our roving reporter tonight.
Where do you think Brad is right now?
I don't know yet. We'll find out shortly, I'm sure. 2-0. Ball 3 outside.
I kind of want to see him on top of that wall.
I do too. Like to see him up on the parking deck out of the back 40. He may be down the Tiger Terrace sampling some of the grilled goods tonight.
That's what I would be doing. That would be a pro move.
3-0. And Guevara takes it low. Back-to-back walks to open the inning for Auburn as Rembert moves to second. And here's Ike Irish.
Andy, that would be a veteran move to be down the left field side sampling some of the cooking going on.
Were you ever able to do that in Starkville?
After games.
After.
But not during. I can't say the same for our players, but yeah, you really struggle with that.
What was the best thing you had
Oh, my God.
in the left field lounge in Starkville?
I'm a big ribs guy, so
Okay.
I just love the ribs. But you can screw up ribs really easily.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I thank God for tin foil, right?
Sure. What was it, a wet rib or a dry rib?
No, I like the wet rib. I'm
Okay.
not a dry rib guy.
So you need some napkins.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, here's Irish.
Yeah, Butch would sample a couple ribs every once in a while.
It's a good guy. I need to ask him. All right, first and second, nobody out for Auburn in the first. Stretch. Here's the pitch inside. And Bonaparte having trouble finding the strike zone. Rembert at second. Guevara, a huge lead at first. The pitch, Irish takes a strike. 1-1 the count.
Even though he struggled with the strike zone, Bonaparte, again, has small misses. That's one of the clues in your dugout when you're coaching your team. For small misses, you live with that. You feel like they're going to hop back in the zone. As they get big, especially the arm side, you got to feel like you got to do something different.
1-1 to Irish. Ground ball base hit into right. Rembert around third base. He'll be held up by Carl Nonemaker. And the Tigers have loaded the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
You know, Andy, this is something that gets overlooked a lot, but Carl does such a great job of getting tremendous depth with his runner on a base hit to the outfield, making a decision as late as possible. That's what the great ones at third base do. He has really done a tremendous job at third base this year.
In his first year as Auburn's third base coach, Gabe Gross moving to the dugout with the signs as Auburn's offensive coordinator. And here is McMurray adding .330, 12 homers, 48 runs batted in for Cooper. Bases are loaded and nobody out. Here's the pitch. McMurray drives it deep into right, back at the warning track, grand slammer.
Hey, that's a little plug and play right there, Andy. I mean, it's just a great carryover from last weekend. I mean, that young man's seeing it well. You get a fastball early with runners in scoring position. You take your best swing, and that was a pretty darn good swing.
13th home run of the year for McMurray. RBIs 49, 50, 51, and 52. And with nobody out, Auburn has jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Back-to-back walks to Rembert and Guevara, a single by Irish, and McMurray brings everybody home on the grand slam, 393 feet to right center field. And here is Lucas Steele. Pitch on the way to Steele, shows bunt. Bunts at third base side, but
The only disappointed person in this ballpark is Lucas Steele because he's saying, could you have just left the guy on second base for me? By the way, nobody's left on, right? There's nobody left on right here. So that's the perfect inning for all you broadcasters. It's left on base.
It's a clean slate. Nobody out, 4 home for Auburn. Steele behind 0-1, the pitch to him. Lucas sends it down the right side foul. And beyond the 984 club, Steele came to the plate in the top of the ninth as a pinch hitter at Jacksonville and pulled it to right. Jacksonville State had tied the game in the bottom of the eighth. Steele untied it with that solo pinch hit home run to right turned out to be the difference. A 4-3 Auburn win. 0-2 the count. Bonaparte stretches and pitches. Steele takes it high and outside. Ball and 2 strikes. You're referring to the left on base stats.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
I can tell. You've told us that before.
Not a big
A ball and 2 strikes to Steele. Stretch and the pitch. Lucas flies one to the left center field. Long run center fielder. That's at the wall. That's at the bottom of the wall, and it's an extra base hit for Steele. Higher below the video board in left center, and Collins and Williamson just couldn't catch up to it. And so it's a double for Lucas Steele.
So, Andy, out of old habits, I get up really early and I look at the Weather Channel, and it said the winds were going to be out of the west, southwest, 3 to 5 miles an hour. And you look at the American flag, not moving a whole lot, but you look at the little flags up on the War Eagle wall, and they're moving. There's no resistance against the ball. And I'm telling you, it's going to fly tonight to the left side of the field.
7th double of the year for Steele, and here is Snow. Chops it to the right side. Second baseman charges. Blauser flips to first. Steele goes to third on the play. 1 out, first out of the inning.
Snow, that's a team at bat right there. He's working inside the ball. He moves the runner. That's something when you watch big league games, Andy, that just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, nobody's concerned about moving runners, putting them in scoring position. But that's team baseball right there. And he's getting congratulated by his teammates right now, which he should.
Why isn't that more of a factor? Why isn't that more important on the major league level right
Because
now?
it's all numbers driven.
Okay.
It's agents, and it's numbers, and it's contracts, and it's you fill in the blank.
Gotcha. Here's Bub Torello running at third, 1 out. Stretching the pitch to Bub. Change up high and outside for ball 1. Bub was 2 for 4 in Auburn's win at Jacksonville State. Scored a run and drove home a run. 4-3 Auburn win. Tigers lead 4-0. We're in the bottom of the first. Stretch and pitch. Terrell loops it off the left side. Reach for that one. Foul to play on the left side. A ball and a strike.
Andy, I really appreciate the broadcast this weekend. You giving the history behind Bub's first name. So because I've always been afraid to ask him. But you gave a great explanation. I love it.
1-1. Sky's left side on play. Just to repeat, his full name is Demarion. His grandfather, I'm not sure what side of the family, called him Bubba as a child. And then when he got to travel ball, it was
you can't have a multi-syllabic name.
Sure.
It's got to be monosyllabic in baseball. It has to be.
And that's why he's Bub now.
That's right.
Infield comes in now on this 1-2 pitch. Terrell takes it low and inside.
So you might be asking yourself, why with 2 strikes are they bringing the infield in? You're going to get a more defensive swing, a more of a slap type swing. I like that with 2 strikes. They need to keep that runner score at third base. So very, very good decision, in my opinion, bring the infield in with 2.
Steele is the runner at third. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Terrell. Swing, drive, deep into left field. Into the canyon. That's going to get over the left fielder's head. And it's down. Steele scores. It's a double for Bub Terrell, his 11th of the year. Collins got back there, and it looked like, I don't know if he lost it for a minute.
Andy, I don't think he ever saw the ball. And now he's looking into the sign. I don't think he ever saw. I don't know if he could have made that play anyway because it went deep into the canyon there, but he never saw that ball. And this is a time of day, as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, you can see that shadow, the shadow of the light pole going directly in line with where the ball was.
Good point. Yeah.
That means he's looking right into the sun.
And the pitching coach is out for Jacksonville State. This has been a rough first inning for Carson Bonaparte. Back-to-back walks to Rembert and Guevara. A single to right, loaded the bases by Irish. Cooper McMurray got the first pitch he saw and hit a grand slam to right. Lucas Steele doubled into the canyon and left. He ground out to the right side by Snow, and the double by Terrell into the canyon and left. And it's a 5-0 Auburn lead, a runner at second base, and 1 out in the first inning for the Tigers. And the 8th man to bat is Chase Fralick, the Auburn catcher.
Andy, Bonaparte might be facing the hottest offense in America. Yeah. There's about 309 Division I teams. This might be the one team I wouldn't want to pitch against on a Tuesday night.
Sure anybody else scored 46 runs last weekend?
No, sir.
Fralick 1 for 2 at Jack State, drove home a run. He's batting .339. 4 homers, 37 runs batted in the pitch. Takes a strike underneath the hands.
What a bright future Chase Fralick has. I mean, he has really turned the corner as a receiver, as a leader behind the plate. And there's no doubt this young man's going to hit.
0-1. Swing on a foul tip, ball and a strike. Excuse me, no balls and 2 strikes for Fralick.
And I hear his backhand is pretty good.
He told me, I asked him in the dugout this past weekend, his ability, and he was an elite tennis player. 60 Division I offers, including Auburn, I understand. 0-2 pitch to Chase. Ground ball fair to first. First baseman Thomas takes it to the bag, and Terrell goes to third for the second out. I asked Chase, whose father is in the tennis business. We told the story about how he was, quote unquote, discovered. But I asked him, I said, with your ability to hit the opposite way, do you think your tennis background lends to that? And he says, absolutely it does. And he explained it. It helps him go in the opposite way because he would do that in tennis, let the ball get deep. And that's exactly what he does most of the time, although he pulled that. Here's Fabian for the runner at third and the 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, so the moral of that story is if anybody's listening and you have a youngster who plays baseball, let him play tennis. Because it is not going to do anything but help.
1-0. Fabian takes it low, 2 balls and no strikes. Auburn has scored 5 times in the first, has a runner at third. It's Terrell with 2 outs in the inning. We will find Brad somewhere in this second inning.
I think he's busy with a hot dog.
Well, he may be, but he's going to have to put it down for a minute. Bonaparte steps off. They'll reset the pitch clock. Terrell at third, 2 outs at the Auburn first. Tigers lead 5-0. Bonaparte peers in and comes set above the belt. Now the 2-0. Outside, snap throw to third. Terrell is back. Tried to back pick him, third base. Bubba was back in time, and the count goes to 3-0 now to Fabian. In the top of the order, and Rembert waits on deck.
You know, you might be asking yourself, why are they picking at third base there? We have the runner in the line. Sometimes they just freeze when that ball's thrown right at them. They just sit down and freeze. The base runner does. Sometimes you can catch somebody popping.
3-0 to Fabian. It misses outside. Third walk of the inning for Bonaparte. And for the second time in the inning, Rembert comes to the plate. He led off the inning with an Auburn and scored the first of 5 runs. This first inning. Tigers lead 5-0 on a gorgeous evening for $2 hot dog night. Young Jacob Hillman behind us put down 4 before the game.
$5 craft beer.
Yes, indeed. There you are. There's still room for you at the ballpark. Come on out. Here's Rembert. Auburn has batted around in the first. Stretched by Bonaparte. And a throw to third. And, well, certainly has the attention of Jacksonville State right now.
He does. He does. That's the purpose of a midweek, though. You want to work on all your stuff to get ready for the weekend.
Stretch. Here comes the pitch. Outside to Chris Rembert. Runner at first. Fabian could be doing some running here. He's 8 of 9 in stolen bases this season. Auburn has scored 5 times here in the first. Ball and no strikes to Chris. Here's the pitch. That one misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. And Bonaparte is already up to 27 pitches in this first inning. Fabian at first and Terrell at third with 2 down. 2-0 pitch to Rembert. Strike called on the outside corner.
Maybe he doesn't look like he's not commanding the baseball. I mean, everything's a small miss, which means our hitters at Auburn are doing an incredible job taking marginal pitches here.
2-1. Ball 3 outside.
Do you start the runner here, Andy?
I would.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I've already started it.
Yeah. You got a big leg kick. Take away the force in second. Gap ball, you can score him. Fabian runs well. Veteran guy. Yeah, I think good time here. Even though 3-2, it's going to be automatic.
Stretch. 3-1. Ball 4. Didn't matter. Rembert walks for the second time in the inning, and for the second time this inning, Auburn has the bases loaded. And here is
and the heat is on.
Yeah, with the National Player of the Week, Eric Guevara, coming to the plate.
And I know you appreciate the heat is on because that's Whitey ball. Remember?
It sure was. They played Celebration by cooling the game after. Here's the pitch. Guevara takes a strike underneath the hands. Eric, like Rembert, batted in this first inning, walked and scored. He bats with the bases loaded and the 2 outs in the first. 5 already home for Auburn. The pitch. This is low. A ball and a strike to Guevara. One ball and 1 strike to Guevara with 2 down. The pitch. Ball too low.
God, those are really good pitches, Andy. But our hitters are just doing a great job of seeing it early and making great decisions.
2 balls and a strike to Guevara. Bonaparte off the stretch in the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Nice job for Ash to bring it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know what I've seen one time through the order here is just very little shifting. You know, maybe for Steele, but outside of Steele, I think what's going on.
2-2 pitch. Guevara to center. Here comes Williamson. He is there, and he makes the catch. Auburn scores 5 runs in the inning on 4 base hits. No errors. Auburn leaves 3 in the first. After 1 at Plainsman Park. Auburn 5. Jacksonville State nothing. Where is Brad Law? We'll find out when we come back. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
If what you like is getting the highest payouts, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games all on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Atmore is your kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Atmore. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. It is bubbles. Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Busy delicious. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Back at Plainsman Park, where Auburn leads Jacksonville State 5-0 as we go to the second inning. Guys, I decided to, all that talk about food, I decided to come hang out down the right field line near one of the many fast flight grab-and-go concessions areas. Steady traffic in and out of here. Had a great view of Cooper McMurray's Grand Slam, and it flew to the standing room, or the standing row at the back 40. I'm guessing between 390 and 395 on the distance on that Grand Slam from Cooper McMurray. That's where we are now. We're definitely going to work our way over to the War Eagle Wall. We're definitely going to work our way to the Tiger Terrace, maybe even the parking deck for all the folks up there before this one's out.
What was your guess on the mileage there?
390 to 395.
It was 393. Nicely done. Of course, I mentioned it after the home run, so you cheated.
I mean, sure there's an app on the phone, right? Sure.
There's a strike for Thomas.
Spilling secrets all over the place.
All right, enjoy yourself. Second inning brought to you by Southern Union. A new path to the lanes that runs through Southern Union State Community College. That one misses inside to Thomas. Moves seamlessly to Auburn to complete a bachelor's degree in selected programs by taking courses at Southern Union and Auburn concurrently. All at Southern Union, tuition rates. Southern Union put you on a path to the Plains. Brad is not in the booth tonight. He is roaming. Beautiful Plainsman Park tonight. 1 pitch, 2 Thomas. Here it is. And outside, 3 balls and a strike. Thomas batting .283, 5 homers, 21 runs batted in. Big first baseman for the Gamecocks. Waits the 3-1. Strike called on the inside corner. Thomas was a quarter of the way to first base. He had not thrown his bat away yet.
Andy, I'm swinging here. I'm swinging here. We went almost halfway to first base right there, so I am swinging.
3-2 pitch. Misses high and outside. Gets a leadoff walk. So for the second consecutive inning, Jacksonville State puts the leadoff man on base. And here is Grayson Ash, Jack State catcher. 0 for 3 in the first game against Auburn, batting .306. He leads Jacksonville State with 10 homers. Second on the ball club with 36 runs batted in. Stretch in the pitch. This is low. Thomas, 8 for 10 in stolen bases. Everybody in this order has at least a stolen base. Ash with 1. Throw to first. Thomas is back. 5-0. Auburn leads it. A grand slam by Cooper McMurray, the big blow in the first. Stretch by Alvarez. Pitch. Ash takes it low. 2 balls and no strikes. And that will bring the infield in to talk to Andreas Alvarez. That may get the Auburn bullpen stirring right now.
Just trying to give the young man some confidence out there. And, yeah, it's a good timeout. But how many different ways can you say, throw a strike?
You're at 5-0.
Yeah. And that makes it worse, really, because, the pitcher is obviously trying to throw strikes. And he's very aware that he's got a 5-run lead. He's very aware that he's going to use this as a coaching point.
2 balls and no strikes to Ash after a leadoff walk to Thomas. Alvarez stretches. Here's the pitch. There's a strike.
Boy, there's a little more confidence right there. You know, really stayed his delivery, stayed on his tracks. He really got his head through the strike zone right there. That was more confidence, more conviction right there.
Throw to first, good idea. Thomas got a huge lead on that 2-0 pitch that was called strike one. The stretch. Big lead for Thomas as he dances away from first. Pitch clock is down to 6, and Alvarez steps off.
Yeah, it's fine. Hold the baseball. They can't go anywhere as long as you hold the baseball. Now you got the pitch clock you have to deal with, but you can't get a great jump on someone who holds the baseball.
2-1 pitch. Strike call in the outside corner. Well, since the little meeting on the mound, he's 2 pitches, outer half and down to this right-hand hitter.
I think it's been a great time to pick right here, and I'd pick wild set.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Ash. Again, Thomas off first, throw over, out. I think McMurray tagged him on the helmet. That's how far he got off the bat.
He did. He did a great job of holding the baseball. Jeff Head with the call at first base.
Yeah, got him on the front of the helmet.
Ooh, did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you questioning?
I didn't see the helmet move.
I got him right on the front of the helmet there.
On the bill.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Ash. Here's the wind and the pitch. On a hop to Fabian. Right to Derek. 2 first. 2 outs.
Wow, what a great job by Fabian there. You know, ball flushed. Doesn't have time. He can't come get it. He can't open his front side up. So he sits down on the ball to recover. So he's in block and recover mode. Again, the harder it is, the more time you have to get that ball over to first base. So you have plenty of time to block and recover. It's great technical ball by the entire field at all.
2 outs in the inning, and here's Caleb Johnson, the shortstop. Left-handed hitter, batting .245, almost 31 runs batted in. Pitch, strike call to the inside corner. And since he fell behind Ash 2-0, he has struck nothing but strikes. Andres Alvarez.
That's right. Just walk out there and tell him those strikes. He does. You listen.
0-1. Ooh, a little bit high, a ball and a strike. 5-0, Auburn leads it. We're in the top of the second in the final regular season home game for Auburn. Now the 1-1. Foul at the plate. The off-speed pitch by Alvarez, ball and 2 strikes.
So, Andy, we have a really effort-filled swing right there. And the Johnson falls over the plate there. And I don't know what's in the arsenal right now for Alvarez, but when I see a hitter fall over the plate, boy, fastball in could be an option here.
1-2. Fastball in, and he.
Yeah. That's the pitch.
You go back to it here, or do you go back out?
No, I go away again because now you got a stationary feed box, but before over the plate. It's one thing to call the pitch in, it's another thing to execute it, and that was really well executed.
1-2 to Johnson. Came back in, off-speed delivery. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two outs and nobody on for Jacksonville State. Alvarez shook off a sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Side ball 3. Full count now to Johnson. Second full count of the inning. Auburn plays Johnson to pull to the right side, the 3-2. Again, chopper foul. Came inside with the fastball. Count remains full to Caleb Johnson, 0 for 3 in the first go-around with Auburn. Andres off the wind and the 3-2. Upper foul. Johnson hanging in there.
Andy, we just had a beautiful young lady step the bird there.
Yes.
In overalls, no less.
In overalls.
With old school Auburn hat.
A lot of folks pull that off, John.
They can pull that off.
Yeah.
Can't pull the overalls off.
Nor can I. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Man, you scoring points. Pitch. Popped up. Out near where Brad Law is on the War Eagle wall. Irish underneath it. We'll get a report from Brad when we come back. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. Go to the bottom of the second. Our score, Auburn 5, Jacksonville State, nothing. Stay tuned, friends. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
For 70 years, Max Credit Union has been more than just a financial institution. We've been a part of your community, your milestones, your dreams. At Max, you're not just a customer. You're a member, a neighbor, a friend. So as we celebrate 70 years of trust, service, and financial growth, we want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing Max, and thank you for letting us be a part of your journey. Max Credit Union, 70 years strong and just getting started. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Booth Performing Arts Center at Auburn University is Alabama's premier destination for the arts, bringing you the very best of Broadway, dance, music, and more. Learn more about upcoming performances and see the calendar of events online at gougecenter.auburn.edu. That's GOGUE center.auburn.edu, or call the box office 334-844-TIXS.
We began the second inning, Bradford T. Law, with a pepper tree call to the bullpen. The pepper tree pitching change, a new level of taste. Tiger fans know it's got to be pepper tree for the best wine selection. Honest cuts of meat. Visit Pepper Tree in Auburn or Montgomery and online at steaksandwine.com. Bradford, where are you?
I am on top of the War Eagle wall, and I don't know if I should have come here this early in the game because it's going to be hard to leave now. This is a phenomenal vantage point. The ground ball hit to Derek Fabian last inning, sharply hit, gives you an entirely different perspective, way up here on top of the wall and from behind the players to see how quick it gets on them and what their positioning has to be. So we're up here. We're not jam-packed shoulder to shoulder tonight, but it's pretty packed, pretty full. Looking back toward the field, beautiful views, beautiful weather, and there is a wind. You definitely feel the wind up here on top of the War Eagle wall, for sure.
All right, the new pitcher for Jacksonville State, number 20, Trevor Caldwell, a lefty, 6 foot, 215-pound junior from Rockmart, Georgia, and Polk State Community College. Caldwell, no record in ERA of 3.86, making his 11th relief appearance with a save, 11 2/3 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned on 7 hits, 12 strikeouts, 13 walks, a homer. And opponents are hitting 179 against left-hander Trevor Caldwell, that is.
Cardwell would be a little taller.
Well, apparently Dylan had a good G League camp this past weekend.
Very good.
Average double digits, scoring, and played his typical brand of defense.
There's just got to be a spot for him. And there's got to be a spot for somebody that plays as hard as he does, as physical as he is, as good a teammate as he is. All that's got to matter.
Ike Irish is the first one to face Caldwell. Pitch on the way, and it bounces up there for ball 1. Ike singled and scored in the Auburn first. Bonaparte an inning, 5 runs, 4 hits, 4 walks, no strikeouts, no walks. He threw 34 pitches. Only 12 for strikes. 5-0 Auburn leads it. We're in the bottom of the second. Stretch the pitch to Irish. Ground ball to the right side. First baseman Fields flips to Caldwell covering. And Irish is retired. And that brings Cooper McMurray to the plate. Cooper has swung once tonight. The very first pitch he saw in the first, a grand slam to right center for McMurray. Bats with nobody on and 1 out here in the second. Against the lefty, Caldwell. Stretched by Trevor. McMurray takes the off-speed pitch low and away and off the glove of the catcher, Ash.
So, Andy, we're going to see 88 to 92 out of Caldwell. really likes his slider. Slider's going to be more 78, 80 mile an hour range. Just kind of a typical assignment-driven lefty. I mean, he was brought in here to face these two big lefties in the middle of our
1-0. Fastball a little bit in at 89. A ball and a strike to McMurray. Beautiful night for baseball. Sun starting to set. No longer a factor on the playing surface here at Plainsman Park. Now the 2-0. Strike ball in the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Stretch. And the 2-1 to McMurray. High and away. 3 balls and a strike to the Auburn first baseman. Became the 4th in Auburn history with double-digit home runs in 3 straight seasons. Now it's time for the team lead with Ike Irish with 13 apiece. He awaits the 3-1. And he walks. This time outside. Is the 5th walk in the first inning and a third by Jacksonville State pitching. And it brings Lucas Steele to the plate. The switch hitter will turn around and bat right-handed for Auburn. Doubled to 2 left to center in the first. Raised his average to 296, 7 homers, and 38 runs batted in. McMurray gets his lead at first. He's there with 1 out. In the second inning, Auburn up 5-0. Steele swings and misses.
Andy, kind of interesting, at least statistically, he's better against right-handers than he is against left-handers. So right-handers hit 171, left-handers hit 231. What that screams out to me is there's a real changeup somewhere in there. It gets the right out.
0-1 to Steele. Here it is. That's ball for strike 2. He has opened up Steele with back-to-back fastball. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Stretch and the pitch. High. Nice job by the catcher. Keep that from going to the screen. Ball and 2 strikes to Steele. McMurray at first, 1 out, and the Auburn second. Tigers lead 5-0. Caldwell stretches and pitches. Swing, gonna miss. Down and in with that fastball to Steele. It's the first strikeout of the night for Jacksonville State pitching. Now 2 outs in the inning, and here's Eric Snow.
Yeah, Steele's definitely setting off speed right there. The scouting report talks about the changeup. He's hitting changeup and he got 89 right up underneath his hands. He's just come back to the barrel of play.
2 down for Snow. Eric, line drive over the third baseman's head, down the corner. McMurray on around second base, digs for third. Throw in, save at second base with a double for Eric Snow. Even off the end of the bat, high enough to get over Silas's head and down the third base line, and that is Auburn's 3rd double in the first 2 innings. And for Eric Snow, it is his 11th.
You get a fastball, he's hunting a fastball, he's a little early. But if you're thinking middle of the field, you're going to get those kind of hits. Why? Because you keep the barrel in the hitting area just long enough to keep that ball fair. And great moment for Bob. These are the moments that really help the young freshman get ready for the weekends. These types of moments.
Terrell doubled off the wall and left back in the first. He has runners at second and third with 2 down. Pitch to him, a little bit low to Terrell.
Wow.
Good pitch, just missed the zone.
Really good pitch.
1 ball and no strikes to Terrell as Auburn threatens to add to a 5-0 lead with 2 outs in the second. Stretch, 1-0. Terrell got jammed and popped it up right side. Is there room for Thomas? Nope. He'll run out of room as it lands behind the screen about 5 rows deep.
So what great hitters can do, Andy, is they can stop their swing, and Bub just couldn't stop his swing right there. And you're going to see him develop. He's just got to find a way to keep the hands inside, have enough presence to be able to stop swing. Pitches up and in, and it's a ball.
1 ball and 1 strike to Bub and Terrell. Second and third with 2 outs in the Auburn second inning. Catch and pitch. Terrell lines a foul ball off the screen above Chase Fralick in the on-deck circle. Fastball sitting about 89. He was able to strike out Steele on 3 fastballs to the right-handed hitter. And now he's ahead of Terrell, a ball and 2 strikes. McMurray at third. Snow at second. Terrell jammed and fouls it in between McMurray and Nonamaker. Remember, Cooper got hit with a foul ball in that doubleheader Saturday.
Right.
I would imagine there is still a mark in the inside of his left leg from that screamer that hit him on Saturday.
He started out a good 10 feet inside the baseline right there.
Another 1-2 to Terrell. Here it is. High and outside. Count is even at 2-2.
Love to see a ground ball right here in the 6th hole. He's just not seeing this ball come out of the left-hander's hands very good right now.
Caldwell off the stretch. 2-2 pitch. High outside, ball 3. First base is open, but you got Fralick on deck for Auburn.
My goodness, Andy, you look at these freshmen in this Auburn lineup. You got 2 of them back to back right here. How good are these players going to be in the future? They're a pretty good sign of things to come.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Terrell. Pitch is on the way. Bub fouled back a fastball at 90. Had a good look at it. A grand slam in the first by McMurray. Auburn scored 1 more. Tigers threatening here in the second. McMurray down at third. Snow at second base with 2 down. And another full count pitch coming from Trevor Caldwell to Bub Terrell. Stretching the pitch. Terrell chops it foul into the State dugout down the right side. Terrell getting the start tonight in center. Now a 3-2 pitch. Again, here it is. Terrell into right. Back is Hegwood. Shy of the warning track. There to make the catch, and the end comes to a close. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 men left for Auburn. Tigers are stranded 5. We're through 2. Auburn 5, Jacksonville State nothing. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. What's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories, like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted with water. Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences. Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
The ballpark for more Auburn baseball.
5-0 Auburn as Jacksonville State comes to the plate in the third. John Cohen with us in the booth tonight. Brad Law is roving Plainsman Park. Last we talked to Brad, he was out there on the War Eagle wall. Bradford, where are you now? Not listening to us.
All right. No, I'm listening. I just had to turn the microphone on because we like to conserve batteries. I'm coming down from the wall, and I'm coming down to the Tiger Terrace where we see smoke. Okay. So if you'll give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll give you all the time you need.
We're going to do some hardcore investigative reporting down here in the Tiger Terrace.
I do want to know what the cuisine is. Give me the what they're cooking, how they're cooking it, condiments, that kind of thing.
Hey, Brad, if you don't come back to the booth with barbecue sauce or ketchup or mustard on your shirt, you have not done your job tonight.
I understand the assignment. Yes.
We go to the top of the third, 7, 8, 9 hitters to face Alvarez. And the first pitch to Ace Williamson is a fastball high and outside. Third inning tonight, brought to you by the Vance Law Firm, where the phone number is easy to remember. They say dial 3 for me, 334-333-3333 to another count. Pitch again, high and outside. 5-0, Auburn leads it. We're at the top of the third. Auburn and Jacksonville State. Next up for Auburn, the Tigers at Ole Miss Thursday evening at 6:30. The 2 to Williamson inside ball 3. And as he did in the second, he falls behind the leadoff man. Brady Thomas eventually walked, but Alvarez picked him off. On the 3-0. Call in the outside corner. 2 balls and strike to Williamson. Batting .283. 5 homers and 21 runs batted in, and 12 in stolen bases. 3-1. Here it is. Waited on one, fouled it off the front of the Auburn dugout. Full count. Fielded cleanly by Javero January, third base umpire. Used 2 hands.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Good fielding position by the third base umpire.
Full count now to Williamson. Here it is. And he reaches out and fouls off another pitch. To the backstop. Bounces all the way about in front of the plate. Williamson, Silas, and Hegwood. Jacksonville State here in the third. 5-0, Auburn leads it. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a fastball. First strikeout of the night for Alvarez. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. We're heading out to the Tiger Terrace.
All right. Stand by. I had somebody and they got away.
Oh,
it's an active. It's an active time down here. We've talked to Toby. We've talked to Brett.
It's an active situation. Here's what you're telling us.
It is. It is an active situation, and I'm just trying to follow my nose. You know,
Yeah.
the most active grill we can find.
All right. Sam Silas bats with 1 out, nobody on. 0 for 1 in the first game against Auburn. Takes the slider that misses down and away. I got a text from Brad saying I've got someone to talk to. I went to him and he lost the guy. Or kid, I'm not sure. 0-1-0. Fastball down the middle. 1-1 to Silas, hitting .273, a homer, and 18 runs batted in. Alvarez shakes off a sign. Now comes in with a 1-1. Jammed it right side. Picked up by McMurray. He will tag Silas coming by for the second out.
And that young man's getting a little peanut butter to go that sandwich, which is served. That's fastball in, riding in. Just couldn't his barrel too. That's a great pitch.
All right,
by
your
Alvarez.
favorite PB&J jelly is?
You know, I love strawberry jelly, but I tell you what else I love. I love the honey with peanut butter.
So it's a little PB&J and H.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 outs for Colton Hegwood to pitch. Fastball outside.
Something else I miss. In fact, Mel and I talk about this all the time. When we were kids growing up in elementary school, they would serve peanut butter jelly sandwiches with K-Rose syrup mixed into
Okay.
the peanut butter.
Here's the 1-0. Hegwood takes a strike, a ball and a strike. All right, very quickly, Brad Law's ready. Go ahead, Brad.
All right, guys. Who are we talking to tonight?
Davis Lambert. Nolan Lambert.
All right, Davis and Nolan, tell us what brought us here to the ballpark tonight. What's the occasion to celebrate?
My son's birthday. Came out to go to the ballpark for my son's birthday and his friends, and had a great time.
We'll let Andy reset the action, then we'll come back.
2 outs, 1 and 2 count now to Hegwood. If we need to, we'll extend this into the bottom of the third, Brad. I don't want to cut off this with an inning break. 1-2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 call. Andres Alvarez with a couple strikeouts in the third. We will head back out to the Tiger Terrace with the Lamberts when we come back. 3 up, 3 down for Jacksonville State in the third. Auburn 5, Jack State nothing. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Fall season is coming soon. The Tigers return Friday, August 29th at Baylor.
Reed in trouble. Reed goes down. DeMarcus Riddick.
This is your exclusive home for Auburn football, the Auburn Sports Network.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough, based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
We go to the bottom of the third, 5-0 Auburn on top as we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Andy Bertram, John Cohen in the booth. Brad Law out in the Tiger Terrace. Brad.
Yeah, we're in these new areas this year in the Tiger Terrace. You have padded seats and you have grills. And Davis and I tell me we got a birthday party tonight. And so what kind of food? Most importantly, what are we cooking up?
Yes, sir. We got some hot dogs and hamburgers and apple Powerade, water for the kids. They're having a great time. Got kids on the field earlier with the game, so it's been a great game so far.
How many kids do we have?
Ooh, I don't know. I think about 30.
What kind of cheese?
What kind of cheese Andy wants to know?
Mr. Andy, we got it.
There you go. Smart.
What's for dessert?
What's for dessert, the athletic director?
That's going to be cake. That's a cookie cake.
Okay.
So I hope you like it.
Really good stuff. Guys, really quickly, can we get a War Eagle from you?
That's
Back
what
to
I'm
you,
talking
Andy.
Chase Fralick leads off the Auburn third. Dogs and burgers and cookies. Nice. Out in the Tiger Terrace. 1-0 to Fralick, tapped out to the first baseman in the first inning. His second at bat of the game. Caldwell with his second inning of work. The pitch, and Fralick takes it outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
about. Gotta love 30 kids getting sugared up down the left field line there.
You don't think that's a sugar-free cookie cake?
No.
I don't either.
Good luck getting those kids to bed.
2-0 the count to Fralick. Scratch and the pitch. In there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Chase hitting .337 in his freshman campaign. 4 homers, 37 runs batted in. Stretch and the 2-1 pitch from Caldwell. Fralick got underneath this one and flies it into center. Williamson to his left. Back a step, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And here is the number 9 hitter, Derek Fabian. Walked in the first, was stranded at second base. Kanaka Sausage, the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Kanaka Sausage, a game day favorite, always great on the grill. Pick up a pack at your local grocery store and visit the Kanaka Gift Shop in Evergreen, Alabama, of I-65 exit 96. Fabian bats, 1 out, nobody on, shows bunt, and takes a strike. Fabian 8 for 9 in stolen bases for Auburn this season. And fielding .984 at shortstop.
The SEC, that's pretty
Yes.
good stuff.
Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got the fastball there. And the fastball ticking up right now. It was 89 for the better part of that second inning. That was 91 there.
Yeah, we're really not seeing this left-hander Caldwell very well.
0-2 to Derek Fabian. Caldwell stretches and pitches. Fabian takes it high for ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes. With John Cohen, Brad Law, Andy Bertram, Jacob Hillman, our on-site producer tonight. Glad to have you aboard as Auburn leads 5-0. 1 out, bottom of the third. Now a 1-2 pitch to Derek Fabian. Here it is. It misses low. I like the idea of the American cheese on a grilled burger. I think that's just a natural. I have many rules when it comes to burgers. One day, I don't know about
Any rules?
if it's four is many, the 2-2. All three inside.
So we get in trouble on this one, but what's the best burger in town here? Since you've lived here a long time.
Boy, there are some really good burgers here in town.
I don't want you in trouble.
I don't want to get into trouble here. You can find good burgers in this town. And not at just the normal burger spots. In addition to 3-2. Ball 4. Fabian works a walk. He's on for the second time by walk. Here's the one hard fast rule I have on my burger rules. And at one time I had this written out. It's the kind of life I lead. No mayonnaise in a burger.
Oh my goodness.
No mayonnaise and no lettuce on a
No,
burger.
no. Because the mayonnaise plays into the ketchup.
No.
Those two things get going together.
No. That's my hard fast
Oh,
rule.
you're
No.
missing out.
Well, I'm not. Here's the top of the order, and remember, I knew I was going to get a reaction, and I could tell. Stretch runner goes. The pitch is high. Throw to second base. Not even close to get Fabian. 9th stolen base of the year for Derek.
That one's going to come from our coaching staff. I don't know which coach. They absolutely knew what they picked here. They went first move, and it wasn't even a contest. That was a great decision. That's a scouting report, stolen base right there.
0-1 the count to Rembert. Fabian down at second base. Tigers lead 5-0. We're in the third. Stretch in the pitch. In there for strike 2. Yeah, I'm not a mayonnaise on any kind of beef. Period.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, forget it. Everybody else in my family is, so I'm kind of out there on a limb. 0-2. Just inside, a ball and 2 strikes to Rembert.
Now, I will tell you my issue is I love all things that are made out of tomatoes.
Yeah.
But I can't do tomatoes on it.
Really?
I love ketchup. I love Italian red sauces.
Yeah.
Can't do.
1-2 driven deep into left field by Rembert. That is back. That is gone. He just hit himself on the video board and left. And Rembert goes into double figures in home runs, his 10th of the season. A rocket to left.
Andy, this young man has not taken a poor swing in a long time. And what he's doing, he's making this game look awfully simple, and we all know it's not. But I mean, what he's doing looks effortless right now.
He is the third Auburn player in double figures in home runs. That is his 10th. And Auburn's second of the night. Here's Eric Guevara. He's flying to center. He has walked and he has scored. Auburn now leads 7-0. We're in the third. Stretch in the pitch to Guevara. Missed high.
How'd you like to be on the mound right now? And you're like, well, the guy who hit 600 last week just took me out of the yard. Now I got to face a guy who hit 800 last week in the National Player of the Week.
The ball and no strikes to Guevara. Pitch. Inside, corner. 86 on the off-speed delivery. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. So no raw tomatoes of any kind for you.
No. Because that raw tomato just looks at me funny. I can't. No, the seeds and the open there. I can't do it. It's an autopsy. I can't do it.
1-1. Chopper foul. I love raw tomatoes. Love them. I love them just as a side and put some salt and pepper in there.
How about some grilled onions on it?
No. And I handle any kind of grilled onions. I don't mind a raw onion on a burger, but no grilled onions. I told you I'm a little peculiar when it comes to this.
You're a Midwestern guy. It's true.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Guevara. 7-0 Auburn on top. Stretch in the pitch. Popped him up right side. Thomas gives chase, but he runs out of room as it falls just below the concourse. That remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Andy, when's the last time you were at Busch Stadium?
Ooh, let's see. 3 summers ago was the last time I was at Busch. Yes, 3 summers ago. The day that they honored Ted Simmons for being inducted into the Major League Hall of Fame into Cooperstown. 1-2 pitch. It misses a little 2-2.
Man, I even to this day, I think about being in that stadium and looking up there and seeing that white-haired guy up the press box.
Jack Buck, yeah.
To me, he was every bit as important as the players and anybody else.
2-2. Ball 3 inside. Boy, he was important to St. Louis. You and I had this conversation before, talking about the great Jack Buck, who I grew up listening to my entire childhood. He could do anything. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Guevara. Here's the stretch and the pitch. He drives one into center. Williamson to his right. Underneath this one makes the catch for the second out. There is a statue of Jack Buck outside Busch Stadium that many of us find and get our pictures. Well, they've done a great job with the statues. The most famous is the Stan Musial statue. So famous that they built it for the old Busch Stadium and moved it to the new Busch Stadium on the northeast corner of the stadium, and it is a gathering spot. I don't know how many times I've heard. We'll see you at the game. Let's meet at the Musial statue. 2 outs for Irish. Mike is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Pitch to him. And outside.
I always thought it'd be cool if they had the statue of Jack Buck, if they had the carton of cigarettes like right in his feet or something. I mean, that guy, when you watch the broadcast, he was always smoking.
Yeah. You could hear it in his voice.
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
All in, no strikes to Ike. Stretch and the pitch. Ike drives one into deep left field. Long run for Collins. Near the corner. Makes the catch in fair ground. And the inning comes to a close. 2 runs on a hit. No errors. And no one left. Through 3 at the ballpark. Auburn 7. Jacksonville State nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with USPS Ground Advantage service. USPS.com/in-the-know.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance that can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
We move to the top of the 4th. Tigers on top 7-0. Andres Alvarez back to work. 34 pitches in his first 3 innings. Where is Brad Law?
Eddie, I am in the 984 club.
They let you in?
Well, they let me in and then kicked me right out
Yeah,
to
they
the
did.
seats. They won't, I haven't lingered too much indoors. But this is maybe the most underrated view in the ballpark. They use added seats in the off season. The construction project completed here. The stuff on the inside is great. The amenities there are top notch. But this view, these seats that are raised up and angled back a little bit toward the field, we had an awesome view of Rembert's home run to left center. Did you give the distance on that, or can I guess it?
Go ahead and guess. I did not.
I'm going to guess between like 410 and 415 is what it looked like.
You have your phone. You're getting the same text that I am.
I'm just saying,
413.
from up here, it looked like about 410 to 415.
Oh, Brad Law. All right.
Brad, what are they serving up in the club?
We have some delicious looking hot dogs that I can see through the window.
Yeah, they're not let you back in, are they?
Oh, no. And it looks like some cheese quesadillas, too.
Ooh, yeah.
I may take this half day off and enjoy something.
Okay, you do that.
All right.
Brad Law into the 984.
Don't forget your bib.
Yeah. Here's Drew Collins, the lead off for Jacksonville State. First pitch, foul to back. Actually, that was the second pitch. Ball and a strike now to Collins. Alvarez now at 36 pitches. Gave up a leadoff man on base in both the first and the second. On the way to Collins, just off the outside corner at 93. 2 balls and strike. couple of strikeouts for Alvarez in the third. He worked a perfect third inning. Second time through the order now for the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. Auburn on top 5-0. There's a 2-1 pitch in there for a strike at 92. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Collins, Hornig, and to Blauser here in the fourth. 2-2 pitch. The left side, foul off the screen.
Andy, tell me this. You've been watching Auburn baseball a long time. This team at this phase of the season, 3 more conference games to go, and of course finishing up here tonight. Where does this team rank in your opinion?
That's 2-2 to Collins. Here it is. Chopper right side. Nicely played by McMurray behind the bag. Takes it to the bag for the out. Boy, offensively, this team is really exposed. Some of Auburn's best. This team is different. Let me put it this way. Because some of those best Auburn teams that I remember, especially those back in the late 90s, under Hal Baird, were very offensive teams, but there was a ton of veterans on that team. This team has so many youngsters on it that are so important. Foul tip off the glove, the catcher, for Carson Hornig. 1 out, nobody on. This is a different team. Its makeup is different. Auburn is relying on so many young players off of maybe one of the great freshman classes in the history of the program. 1 ground ball left side, backhand stab, Fabian. High to first. Ow, nicely played, McMurray. It helps to have 6'4" over there to come down on the bag. 2 outs in the end.
So, Andy, that's why I think this team, that's the separation between this team and some other Auburn teams I've seen over the years. This is an excellent defensive team, and it all starts on the left side. If you can't defend on the left side, you can't win in this league. And I will put those 2 defenders right there on the left side. 2 defenders in the Southeast.
And I think the guy at first base is very underrated for his defense in the 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Blauser. Pitch on the way. Missed low on the way. Blauser, a transfer from Clemson, his father, the longtime Atlanta Brave, Jeff Blauser. Cooper waits on the 1-0. It misses outside. 2 balls and 1. The potential of this team, John, with regard to its pitching staff, there is still a great deal of potential. I think it's still rounding into shape.
I do too.
2-0 in there for a strike.
And I'm just going to say this, Andy. We can roll it into Oxford, which is one of the most difficult places you well know. To playing all of college baseball. You roll out of there with 1, that's a solid weekend.
2-1. Jammed him, fouled it. Right side, Freilich and foul. Ground makes the catch in front of the Ole Miss dugout. The inning comes to a close.
Like a cat, Andy.
Freilich, the cat. 3 up, 3 down for Jacksonville State. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Auburn on top, 7-0. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Check out the Talking Tigers podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. The Talking Tigers podcast is a series of one-on-one interviews hosted by the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. Each week, Andy is joined by a featured guest with Auburn ties from athletics, entertainment, and other walks of life. Past legends and present trailblazers. Insightful and entertaining. It's the Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham. Like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Hey guys, it's Auburn baseball season again, and if you want to hit your next big event out of the park, then get Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn to help with all of your catering needs. From team parties to tailgating or any big event you may have, Baumhauer's always hits a home run by making sure all of your logistics are covered, and you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the big game. If you need a place
What's my next break? Is it a local or network?
New covered patio. Give us a call to book your big event today. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, 2353 or Eagle.
Next break will be a network break.
4, 5, and 6 hitters for Auburn in the 4th. It'll be McMurray, Steele, and the Snow. To face the left-hander, Trevor Caldwell. And actually, we have a new pitcher for Jacksonville State. Pepper Tree called to the bullpen for Jack State. Number 43, Brody Swindle. Lefty, 6 foot 175 junior from Fairhope, Alabama. Transfer from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Swindle, no record in ERA of 10.5 in his 17th appearance of the year, all in relief. 6 innings, 8 runs, 7 earned on 11 hits, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks, no homers. The teams are hitting .423 against Brody Swindle. 2 innings of work tonight for Trevor Caldwell. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, a couple walks and a strikeout. He threw 38 pitches, 18 strikes. And it is Swindle to face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Auburn in the 4th inning. Don't forget Auburn softball in the first round of the NCAA tournament. On Friday, Auburn will play South Florida down in Tallahassee. First pitch is scheduled for 11 o'clock. Florida State. Britt Bowen with the call, 11:45 on Weagle. 91.1 FM. Auburn baseball back on the road this Thursday night, 6:30 at Ole Miss in the final regular season series of the year. Brad and I have the call from Swayze Field starting at 6:15. Here's McMurray to face Swindle. Couple homers in the ball game, including a grand slam by McMurray in the first. First pitch to him misses outside from Brody Swindle. Seven nothing Auburn on top. 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Auburn. 0-1-0 for Jacksonville State. McMurray takes the fastball up. 2 balls and no strikes to the Auburn first baseman. Five in the first and 2 more in the third for the Tigers. 2-0 delivery. Swing and a miss. 79 on the pitch. 2 balls and a strike to McMurray. Dropped about 30 pounds in the offseason. Better shape now.
Yeah, it just looks terrific.
Sure does.
He looks like a different player. And a nice professional career and a great opportunity.
2-1. Misses low. 3 balls and a strike. 5 walks in the first 3 innings by Jacksonville State pitching. 3 balls and a strike for McMurray. Stretch by Swindle and the pitch. Ball 4. McMurray works the leadoff wall.
This place is really filled up over the last 30 minutes.
984 Club is packed. K Corner is packed. Great to see the back 40 out there packed. Students out of session. Folks on the War Eagle Wall, down in the Tiger Terrace, up on the parking deck, down in the Hall of Fame Club, the Broadway Club to my left. On a gorgeous evening for baseball. First pitch. Swing, drive into deep center field by Steele. Center fielder back just at the edge of the warning track, and Williamson reins it in for the first out. Steele hit that one on a line. Williamson ran it down in center.
He sure did. We had Brad Booth. He'd tell us the exit ball velocity. That ball was crushed.
And here is Eric Snow. 1 for 2 with a double. McMurray at first base, 1 out. We're in the 4th. Stretch and pitch. Inside for ball 1, off-speed delivery to Eric Snow from the lefty. Brody Swindle, pitcher of the night for Jacksonville State. One 0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. Change up at 79. McMurray at first, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Swindle comes set in the pitch. First strike to feet. He thought that was a little bit up in the strike zone. Excuse me, too slow. Beg your pardon. The ball and 2 strikes to Eric. He is 1 for 2 with a ground out of the first and a double on the left field line back in the second. Stretch in the 1-2 pitch. So sends a foul ball into the Auburn dugout. Andrew Dutton in the first base coach's box for Auburn. Carl Nunemaker beyond the third base coach's box for the Tigers. One and two, the count, the pitch. Chopper foul by Snow. I talked to Andrew before the ball game tonight. I said, what are you looking for? You got the stopwatch down there. What are you looking for? He says, I'm timing home, or from the pitching mound to home. He's getting the times down. Time to time, he's relaying, especially if it's a bunt. So the batters know, or excuse me, the hitters, the runners, Andy, get it right. The runners know that a bunt is coming. I don't think there's coming right here. 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Outside. 2-2 the count to Snow.
You know, Andy, it's a lot more difficult, believe it or not, to coach first base correctly than it is to coach third base. Third base is a reactionary type of thing. For the first base is where all the action's happening. You're right. You got to keep times. You have to do a great job with the pitcher's move. You have to know the tendencies. You have to know the ball count to tell the ball in the dirt. There's a ton going on at first base coaching box.
2-2 to Snow to the shortstop and underneath his glove into left. He was moving right. The ball was coming to his left. He tried to stop and get back to the ball and get down underneath his glove.
Kind of strange. You know, he sprinted into the 6-hole like before the ball's even hit. I kind of wonder, you know, you see those things on bunt plays or steal plays, but there's no bunt or steal there. I mean, he was just in a really poor position to be able to make that play. And they're probably going to give him an error, but I guess they're not going to give an error. But, you know, he really couldn't get to the ball.
Right.
He put himself in that position.
There's Bub Terrell, who's 1 for 2 on the night with a double. RBI as well. He swings, lines it down the left field line, and it's fair. McMurray will score. Snow is on his way to third. Bub heads to second with his second double of the night. And the Tigers lead 8-0.
That's a great job ahead, Matt. You know, he's been getting big. He hadn't seen the lefties earlier very well. And when he got back to that dugout, I guarantee you the best was this. Think middle of the field. Think middle of the field. Let the ball get to you. It's going short, quick with the hands. That's exactly what Bub Terrell just did.
And that brings Freilich to the plate. Second and third, 1 out, a run home for Auburn. Second double of the night for Bub, and both of his doubles, he's been going the opposite way.
Absolutely. When he's going good, like Ike Irish and so many of our other left-handers, that's when they're going good.
This is one of those guys at the plate in Freilich. Stretch in the pitch. It's missed inside, a ball and no strike.
Yeah, we need a little beyond board backhand into the 6-hole.
So you're going with a 2-hand backhand.
That's right.
With board. You're not going Lendl.
That's right.
All right. Ball and no strike. Some folks may not know if we're talking 1-0. We kind of dated ourselves with those two tennis players, didn't we? 2 balls and no strikes to Freilich.
How great a player was beyond board. Oh, wow.
The old times. To get ready for Roland Garros. That's where he did some of his best work. 2-0. Ball 3. First base is open. And Fabian waiting on deck for the Tigers. Auburn has added a run here in the 4th. Tigers lead at 8-0. Second and third, 1 out. 3-0 count to Freilich. Taking and walking. Just off the outside corner. Base is loaded again. Here's Derek Fabian. John, how quickly is this, and have they already met with regard to the committee, the selection committee for the NCAA tournament? You've been a part of that in the past. Take us behind the scenes, if you would.
Yeah, what you have going on right now is they have weekly meetings that are called RAC meetings. And that's regional. What is it? Regional committees.
Okay.
And they're all over the country. I think there's 6 different regional committees. They have one every single Monday. They're coaches from different leagues around the country that report on their league to the committee.
I think Butch Thompson is on one of those committees.
I think he did it, I think, for the last 4 years. I'm not sure if it's on it this year or not. But it's a tremendous honor. And that committee's just got to get a ton of information. It's a little different than basketball because you have the cross-pollination of basketball, East Coast and West Coast, a lot more often than you do in baseball. But to be honest, one of the most difficult things I think is going to happen in the room this year is just the dominance of the Southeastern Conference. And I say that's a problem because it's just hard to, when you're on the committee, you're going to take a little bit of criticism because it's going to be so Southeastern Conference dominant. I think at least 13 get in, at least. And then you got to ask yourself how many of those are national seeds and how many of those are going to be regional host.
Pitching change, a pepper tray pitching change for Jacksonville State. They go to number 17, Grayson Knight, righty, 6'4", 230, junior from Westfield, Indiana, and Indiana Wesleyan College. 1-1 on the year, 4.91 ERA, making his 7th appearance. His 6th in relief, 11 innings, 6 runs all earned on 11 hits, 4 strikeouts, 5 walks, 4 maneuvers, 262 the average. All right, while we're talking about this, John, in your opinion, as someone that has been at the head of that committee, is not currently, and with Auburn at number 1 in strength of schedule, number 2 in the RPI, what do you think Auburn has to do between now and Selection Day, not only to get that host site in the regional, but put itself in position for a national top 8 seed?
Well, I'm going to answer this like Bruce Pearl would. I think Auburn has put themselves in position to put themselves in position. And this weekend matters. The reason this weekend matters, I think, is, we had the 2 weekends, one at Georgia, one at Texas. We lost some close games. But you don't come out of those 2 with a win. You've won 7 on the weekend. And you would expect the national seed to win 7 or 8 their 10 weekends. So this weekend's going to be huge. You're playing an Ole Miss team that's very, very good. They're very tough at home. They're top 20 RPI. They're going to be a factor in the NCAA tournament as well. I think one is you're hosting. 2, you're a national seed. If you just win 1 this weekend, I think you're in a conversation about a national seed. But I think you're really going to put it in the committee's lap if you only win 1 game. I think if you win 2, you've made a statement and you are a national seed. That's one person's opinion.
Well, you're much more informed, and you've been in that room before. All right, Derek Fabian to face the right-hander Grayson Knight with a run home, 1 out, and the bases loaded. The pitch. Fabian takes the slider off the outside edge for ball 1. Snow at third, Terrell at second, and Freilich at first for Auburn. A run home in the inning. McMurray scored on the double by Bud Terrell. Now the 1-0. Chopper left side, base hit into left field. 1 run is home. Here comes Terrell. He will score without a throw. And the Tigers now lead 10-0 on the bouncing ball, 2-run single by Derek Fabian.
Yeah, it's actually a good pitch. He got the result he wanted. He wanted a double play ball. That ball just hops over the third baseman's head, and we'll take it. The real reason I wanted to be on the committee, though, is great restaurants in Indianapolis, right?
Did you have the
St. Elmo's?
Did you have the shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's?
St. Elmo's, yeah.
That would clean out your sinuses
There's
right
no
now.
question.
Yeah.
There's no question. That is atomic horseradish sauce.
The runners at first and second, and 3 runs home in the Auburn inning. The pitch is a strike to Grimber.
Andy, I will never forget ordering that.
There's so much horseradish in the shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo that it's pink now.
Yeah, I think it's got radiation in it or something.
Quite good. 0-1. Rembert lines it into center field. That's a base hit. Freilich around third base. He's going to try to score. There will be no throw, and the Tigers lead 11-0. Third one batted into the ninth for Rembert.
Yeah, not sure he got all of this one. It's a little bit off the bat, but my goodness, when you spend a week hitting 600, why not? Serve 1 into center field. Get yourself an RBI, young man. This guy is just feeling it right now. You know, if you're Butch Thompson, I want to stop this game right now, put it all in a bottle, and take it with you to Oxford, Mississippi. But unfortunately, you can't do that.
Eric Guevara is the 8th man to bat here in the Auburn fourth. The Tigers have scored 4 times. You lead 11-0, just 1 out. Swindle stretches and pitches. Guevara base hit into the hole to left. Around third base is Fabian. He will try to score. The throw comes in. It's cut off, and it's 12-0 Auburn. On the single to left by Guevara.
You know, for those folks who are sitting at home saying, yeah, this is midweek, you're playing Jacksonville State, this is a good club. I mean, this is a club that's won 31 games and is competing at a very high level in their league. And, you know, I just think they're running into, honestly, one of the best, the hottest offenses going in all of college baseball right now.
I think it's incredibly hard, if not impossible, to argue that fact at this moment. The 9th man to bat in the inning is Ike Irish. First and second, 1 out. 5 runs home for Auburn. Second 5-run inning tonight for Auburn. We're only in the 4th. Here's the stretch of the pitch to Ike. Strike call in the inside corner. Rembert at second and Guevara at first. Stretch and delivery. Pass ball away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Irish. 1 for 3 on the night.
Left-handers hitting 420 against Grayson.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball, base hit to left. Rembert will be held at third. The bases are loaded. Second hit of the night for Irish. And I look at the scorebook right now. Everybody in the Auburn order has a base hit except 1. And everybody in the Auburn order has scored. And we're only in the 4th inning.
And the guy who's walking to the dish right now could change the scoreboard to hurry also.
He's done that already once tonight with that home run in the first inning.
When's the last time, Andy?
Ooh, buddy, I don't have the answer to the 2 Grand Slam night. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Pitch on the way. McMurray fouls one out of play off the left side.
For me in Cooper's career, the thing I remember the most are the 2 foul balls.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
Against Arkansas.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
2 foul balls.
Hit the left field or the right field foul pole first and the left field foul pole second. 1. McMurray fair down the right side. Rembert scores. Guevara is held at third. And the Tigers lead 13-0. A 6 RBI night for Cooper McMurray. A 5 RBI night, for Cooper. Rembert has been on base 4 times. He has scored 3. Guevara held at third, Irish to second, McMurray at first, and Lucas Steele to the plate. And the pitching coach is out for Jacksonville State. 13 runs on 13 hits for Auburn here in the 4th. And we're only in the 4th. The bases are loaded and just 1 out. Let's try and find Brad Law. Where is Brad Law?
I hope he's eating a burger with mayonnaise on it.
He's walking down the concourse. What the world?
Listen, I just had a hot dog and some macaroni and cheese and some sweet tea in the 984 Club.
So where's next for you?
Well, I'm pretty full. Where else might have food?
Full.
Where else should I go?
Well,
I'll take requests at this point.
The Broadway Club looked like the spread was pretty good.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be there in a second.
All right. Brad with the roving microphone tonight. 6 runs in the inning for the Tigers. 13-0 Auburn on 13 hits. And here is Lucas Steele. Hit the ball hard in his first at bat in this inning to center the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Grayson Knight is the 4th pitcher of the night for Jacksonville State. Their second this inning. Bases loaded, 1 out, and the shift is on for Steve. Swings over the top of that one, a ball and a strike. Bases loaded with one out, the Auburn fourth. Tigers have batted around and then some. Steele, same result. Swung over the top of that one. 13-0, Auburn on top. In front of another huge Tuesday night crowd at Plainsman Park. 1-2 pitch to Steele. Got him swinging with the changeup. Steele down on strikes for the second time tonight. And that brings Eric Snow to the plate.
It's a pretty good changeup. There's 3 of them in a row. You're going to ask your hitters, hey, listen, we're going to give you 2, but with 2 strikes, you're going to take some off the swing. And you're going to move the baseball. That's a really good changeup. You've got to find a way to get your closer to barrel contact right there.
First pitch to Snow, hits it. Between the number and his name on his back. Guevara scores, making it 14, I think. Irish to third, McMurray to second. An RBI for Snow, his first of the night. And here is Bub Terrell. He is the 12th man to bat here in the Auburn fourth. The Tigers on top 14-0. Bub 2 for 3 with a couple doubles on the pitch to him. Bub swings and drills foul pass first.
So, Andy, are you a pretzel guy?
I love pretzels.
Have you had the Ben's pretzels that we serve here at the ballpark?
Yes, I have.
That's legit.
Yeah.
All right, so are you going salt? Or are you going cinnamon? Or
No, I'm going salt.
Cheese?
Perhaps. Pitch. Out again by Steele, or by Bub into the photographer's well. 0-2. I could go either one. Yeah, it's delicious.
I'm looking for the carbless pretzel.
The what?
The carbless pretzel.
Tell me when you find that, would you?
I need a pretzel without carbs.
0-2 pitch to Terrell. Swing, drive, deep right field. Heckwood back. That's going to be another double for Terrell. And that will empty the bases. The third double of the night for Bub. His second this inning. Cleans the bases off for the Tigers. A 3-double night for Bub Terrell. Into the gap in right center field.
As an easy swing by Bob. Took his hands right to the baseball. Not a lot going wrong right now for Tiger hitters.
Bub Terrell with 2 doubles in this inning. He empties the bases and the Tigers lead 17-0. And here again is Chase Fralick, who walked on 4 pitches and scored earlier this inning. Here's the stretch. 2 down in the inning and the pitch. Inside with a fastball. Fralick jumps out of the way of that one. 17-0. We are in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch. Ground ball past the first baseman down into the corner. Terrell around third base will score. Fralick's on his way to second with a double, and it's 18-0 Auburn. That ball was scorched on a hot pass to Thomas.
Sure was. A very difficult play. Yeah, these swings, it's different hitter, same result. They're just finding barrel on every swing.
6th double of the night for Auburn. And that will be all for Grayson Knight. As Jacksonville State makes a pepper tree call to the bullpen.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Right-hander Bryce Deaton is on for Jacksonville State, 6'4", 215, a junior from Pontotoc, Mississippi, and Jones College. Eaton 1-0 this year, 6.10 earned run average. This will be his 9th relief appearance, 10 in the third innings, 8 runs, 7 earned on 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, 7 walks. He's given up a homer. Opponents are hitting 200 against Bryce. Remember this, when Auburn played at Jacksonville State a month ago, it was a Tuesday night. It was a 4-game literal road trip for Auburn because the Tigers drove to Atlanta that night and then flew out the next day to play a series, the Easter weekend series in Texas. Really very competitive game at Jacksonville State that Auburn jumped out to the lead. Jacksonville State came back, tied it in the 8th, and Auburn won it in the 9th inning on the pinch hit home run by Steele. Tonight's game, John and Brad, who joins in the booth, could not be any different. But this is a different Auburn ball club than it was a month ago.
I'm trying to remember. A month ago, we had a no-no going through 6, right? Didn't we?
That was another Chatterton start.
Yeah. I remember listening on the radio, and you guys refused to say the evil words.
We're not superstitious. We're a little stitious. 2023, the last time that Auburn had a 10-run inning. So Auburn's first 10-run inning since 2023.
Auburn has scored 11 times in the 4th. 18 runs on 15 hits. And Auburn still bats in the bottom of the 4th, and there's 2 outs. And to this point, everybody but 4 in the Auburn order has batted twice in this inning. And Fabian's about to be another one of those.
Real quick, bone-in chicken in the Broadway Club.
Fried chicken?
No.
Oh.
Like roasted chicken.
Okay.
Bone-in.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Fall off
it
the
is.
bone.
Yeah.
And these big, like, blondies, these triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one caught the attention of the athletic.
The bone end really helps
Yeah.
the flavor.
Sure does.
It changes the flavor for sure.
By the way, lettuce on a burger, dynamic.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
Not misguided.
It's just the tomatoes.
I will trade your lettuce for my tomatoes. No, I will trade your tomatoes for my lettuce.
It's worth the E. coli risk on the lettuce. Worth it.
Wow, that's not the selling point that you think it is. Maybe it's fine. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh my!
But I will say,
yes. And I'm not anti-lettuce because I love a good salad.
Yeah.
Just not on a
Just not
sandwich.
on a burger.
Not on a sandwich.
Okay.
It's just me though. Going to Fraley or to
It's
Fabian.
about texture. It adds texture,
Yeah.
crunch.
Yeah. Sure does.
I guess the onions can do that as well.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter to me on a burger. 0-2 pitch. Here's the pitch to Fabian. Just outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Derek's been on base all 3 times tonight. He has walked twice, scored 3 times, or twice, and singled home a run in the 4th. Singled home 2 runs in the 4th. We're still in the 4th. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and the inning comes to a close. Auburn scores 11 runs in the 4th. We go to the 5th. Auburn leads 18-0. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. It's a deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
We go to the 5th. Tigers on top 18-0. 5th inning tonight presented by Wind Creek Casinos. Elevate your game plan to the hottest games and fabulous rewards. Win the fabulous rewards at Wind Creek Casinos and on the Casinoverse app. along with John Cohen, the roving Brad Law, Jacob Hillman. I'm Andy Birch. Let's talk some Auburn golf here. The Tigers with an 18-stroke lead after the second round of the NCAA tournament out at the Auburn University Club today. Auburn individually has the 2, 3, and 4 golfers on the leaderboard. Round 3 is set for tomorrow at the Auburn University Club. Top 8 teams advance to the Nationals. Auburn is 19 under after the second round, 18 strokes ahead of Texas A&M. And here's Brady Thomas to lead off the 5th. Jacksonville State for Andreas Alvarez. All right, he was in the dugout for days there in the inning. What do you have to do to keep yourself occupied there? 1-0. Out of play.
A lot of folks use the weighted ball system and move their arm around, get the trainer to stretch them out. It's really important to keep the arm moving during that long an inning. I mean, an 11-run inning is going to take a while.
In front and popped it into right field. Second baseman Snow is out about 10 feet on the outfield grass, makes the catch. Alvarez has faced the minimum with 1 out in the 5th and has given up 1 single, and that was to the leadoff man, Drew Collins, in the 1st. He is enjoying an 18-0 lead right now, and here is the catcher, Grayson Ash. Pitch on the way. Drops low for ball 1. Alvarez has done what he needed to do for the Tigers tonight. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Takes it off the outside edge. 2 balls and no strikes. 4 1/3 innings, no runs on a hit with a couple strikeouts and a walk. On the 2-0. Again, missed just outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Activity in the Auburn bullpen, left-hander working out there. Here's the 3-0 to Ash. There's a strike. 3 balls and strike to Ash. Grounded out in the 2nd. Jackson Sanders working the Auburn pen. There's a 3-1 on the inside corner for a strike. And again, the Jacksonville State hitter, Ash, was almost out of the batter's circle on his way to first. You better be swinging, right?
Yeah.
Pitch. He does. Lines it right to the second baseman, Snow. Behind the bag at second base for the out. Terrific positioning for Auburn, and that's our defensive play of the game. Presented by Cook's Pest Control. Don't forget to add pest control to your lineup. From keeping mosquitoes away to protecting against termites and cleaning cobwebs, spring cleaning isn't done until you call Cook's Pest Control. I think sometimes the positioning by a defense is lost at times. 2 outs in the inning. And here's Caleb Johnson. First pitch, swing and a miss. Actually, swing and a foul tip. Johnson, a fly ball into left back in the 2nd inning. That's Irish territory tonight with Terrell in center and Rembert in right. Andreas, the wind in his 67th pitch is behind the runner, or the batter. A ball and a strike. This might be his last inning of work, regardless.
That's a horrible feeling when you get the ball thrown behind you. It's your instincts tell you to back right into it.
Johnson held steady and it skipped behind him. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side. 2 hops to McMurray. To the bag. 3 up, 3 down for Jacksonville State. In the 5th, Auburn 18, Jacksonville State nothing. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Pest control.
The ballpark for more Auburn baseball.
Top of the order for Auburn in the fifth. Bryce Deaton back to work for Jacksonville State. He will get Rembert, Guevara, and Irish. Nope, he will not. He will get, I think, for his first at-bat of the season, number 4, Andrew Dutton coming to the plate to lead off this inning. So that means Auburn needs a new first base coach. The brother of Auburn's Friday night starter, Samuel Dutton. And the new first base coach for Auburn is Cale Strickland, backup pitcher for the Tigers. Actually, Dutton will hit for Guevara, and he'll stay in the game and play third base for Auburn. Now, Chris Rember's just had another terrific night. Been on base all 4 times. He's 2 for 2. He scored 3 runs. He has homered, driven in 3 on the night. And I think we have a new catcher as well for Jacksonville State. Hudson Walburn has come in to catch for State. And the first pitch misses outside for ball 1 from Bryce Deaton. Pitch on the way to Rembert. Swing and a miss at the change. 1 ball and 1 strike. Andrew Dutton in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. He will hit for Guevara. Swing and a miss by Rembert. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Tigers lead 18-0. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Ground ball to the right side. Second baseman, Blauser, fields and throws first for the out. And here is Dutton.
That looked a lot like his dad, didn't it? Built that ground ball.
Yes, it did. And listen to Auburn dugout as Andrew Dutton comes to the plate for his first at bat in an Auburn uniform. He will bat for Guevara. Has been Auburn's first base coach in almost every inning this season. The transfer from Birmingham Southern to the plate left. And there's a lot of guys in that Auburn dugout pulling for number 4 right now. Now nobody on for Auburn in the 5th. The pitch. Dutton takes it outside for ball 1. Came to Auburn from Birmingham Southern after that school closed. Part of that terrific run by Birmingham Southern. 1-0 pitch. Drops in for a strike.
All right, we're going to need to swing it here.
Ball and a strike.
Yeah. So they want to swing in that dugout.
18 runs on 15 hits. The pitch. Dutton takes it low. 2 balls and a strike. In the on-deck circle for the Tigers, Cole Edwards. 2-1 the count to Andrew Dutton. Here's the pitch. Swing, drive, deep to right field. Did he do it? That is gone! Unbelievable! Look at that Auburn dugout. Andrew Dutton, first at bat at Auburn. He homers off the Performance Center in right. Holy cow. My goodness gracious.
When you're talking to your grandchildren one day, you're going to say, you remember that at-bat I had at Auburn?
Goodness gracious. And that was, folks, that wasn't a paint scraper either.
No.
That ball was drilled to right.
Nothing cheap about that.
His first swing is a home run to right.
Wow.
How about that? Here's Cole Edwards. Top that, Cole. Holy cow. Stretch by Deaton in the pitch, and Edwards takes a strike. My goodness. There's a strike to Edwards. No balls and 2 strikes.
We have a distance on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I'll get it to you in a second here. 381 feet. 0-2 pitch. It misses low. A ball and 2 strikes to Edwards. Andrew Denton will never go back to the first base coach's box ever again. And he's got a good argument. There's a swing and a miss, and it's down on 19-0, Auburn on top. And here's Addison Klepch. He will bat for McMurray.
How about a little Hotel California as your walk-up?
Pretty good. Klepch bats for McMurray. 2 outs, a run home, and Deaton's pitch misses outside for ball 1. They're still buzzing in this ballpark.
They are.
After that home run by Andrew Denton in his first at bat.
And Andy, you can check out anytime you want.
You can never leave.
That's right.
Strike call. Klepch, a ball into strike. 1-1. Strike call in the inside corner to Klepch. A ball and 2 strikes. We're in the 5th. Tigers lead 19-0. 1-2. Klepch top second up the third base line for foul. One-two pitch. Popped up into center. Long run for Williamson, but he is there. And the inning is over. A homer by Andrew Dutton. We go to the 6th. Auburn leads it by a score of 19-0. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second place. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 177 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Don't stop planning for your future. Don't stop investing in your kids' education. Stop dreaming of that new home. And don't stop growing your business. Whatever you're passionate about, don't stop. Because when you have a bank you trust, you have the confidence to take on tomorrow. Speak with a Trustmark associate today for advice on achieving your goals. Trustmark. People you trust, advice that works. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Auburn's Director of Athletics, John Cohen. I'm Andy Bertram. Auburn with a couple of changes. Defensively, Benton stays in the game for Auburn. He moves to second base. Snow moves from second base to third. Cole Edwards stays in the ball game. He goes to left. Bub Terrell comes in from center, and he moves to first base. Auburn took McMurray out of the game, and Klepch came into the ball game. He will pitch. He will go to center. Andreas Alvarez back to work in the 6th. He has faced the minimum through 5 innings. Excuse me, we have a pitching change for Auburn. Hayden Murphy comes in to pitch for Auburn. Junior right-hander, 6'4", 200 pounds from Chula, Georgia, Tift Area Academy. Murphy 0-1 on the season and 9.5 ERA, making his 10th appearance. 11 runs, 7 earned on 11 hits, 6 thirds innings, 8 strikeouts, 6 walks a homer, and opponents waiting 355. Well, just a terrific outing tonight for Andreas Alvarez. He gave Butch Thompson exactly what he needed. 5 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. He faced the minimum through 5 innings tonight.
Yeah, he was outstanding. He did, early on he had trouble with the strike zone, but really got us delivered. I know Butch, the staff, be pleased with that.
Ace Williamson will lead it off in the 6th. The first pitch to him is a fastball that misses away. Actually, this is Parker Carlson on the.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's Carlson, right-hander, 6'2", 202 for Mobile. I apologize. Pitch, chopper foul. Defensively, Terrell at first, Dutton at second, Fabian at short, and Snow at third, Edwards in left, Klepch in center, and Rembert in right. Trailing behind the plate with Carlson on the hill. Strike from the pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Ace Williamson. Williamson struck out in his lone at bat. It's to Andreas Alvarez. Stretch by Parker. Here's the 1-2. Chopper foul. Carlson is one of those legacy leaders that Butch Thompson talks about. Mike Irish, Derek Fabian, Cooper McMurray. Those legacy leaders on this ball club. 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Chopper foul by Williamson. By the way, the pitch stats tonight. Alvarez, 68 pitches, 45 for strikes.
And Andy, that is the most important statistic of all.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Williamson. The stretch. And the pitch from Carlson. Just missed the outside. Brad just passed along this number. In the last the last 29 innings, Auburn has scored 64 runs. 2. Fly ball into center. Klepch to his left is there to make the catch. 1 out. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Here's Sam Silas. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets, SeatGeek, the place to do it. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Tigers. Expect the expected. SeatGeek. Here's Silas, Mrs. Lowe from Carlson. Silas with a tapper to McMurray in his lone at bat back in the 3rd inning. Now the 1-0. Tried to hold up. He could not. The ball and a strike. May have been a strike anyway. Going to be heading down to Brad Law in just a moment. You're not going to want to miss this interview. 1 to Silas. Here it is. This is low. All right, Brad, take it away. At the end of the inning. I just read all of it. Sorry. At the end of this inning. Two balls and a strike count. Silas faces Carlson, the pitch. Hit him. Came inside with Just the third man to reach base tonight for Jacksonville State. Actually, the fourth. Pinch hitter for Jacksonville State. One of those games you need the program, friends. This is Terry Majette, left-handed hitter. Majette batting .239. This will be he plays in his 25th game of the season. Carlson off the stretch. And the pitch to Majette. This is a little low. Hegwood 0 for 1 on the night. Strikeout. Number 9 hitter, Majette, pinch hitting for Hegwood. And the 1-0. There's a strike from Carlson.
Man, that's a good breaking ball. Really good breaking ball right there. That's exactly what we need on the weekend for Kirk Carlson. Very capable, really tight, short breaking ball. That'll work against anybody. Just have to challenge the zone with it.
1-1 pitch. Misses down and in. 2 balls and a strike. 19-0 Auburn. The Tigers have out hit Jacksonville State 16-1. Two-one pitch to Majette. Chopper first base side, but foul. Fielded over there by Bub Terrell. Terrell was at first base when that game 1 ended at Kentucky. Auburn, remember, used a pinch runner, scored from second on a fly that was bobbled in the top of the 9th, and Terrell made the final play. The game a ground out to Terrell at first, and Auburn won that game 1, went on to win the series. UK. 2-2, the count to Majette. Pitch by Carlson. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just missed.
Wow.
Just missed low. Full count now to Majette.
It's not where you catch it, Andy.
You were asking earlier about the pretzels?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Full count to Majette. Here's the pitch. Chopper foul.
Those are the carbless ones, right? Those are the ones without carbs. Okay.
Or sugar.
No sugar, no carbs.
Right. The cinnamon sugar Ben's pretzel bites have arrived in the booth.
High caliber.
3-2. Chopper again by Majette. Full count to Trey Majette, top of the order, and Drew Collins on deck. Tigers on top, 19-0. Silence at first. Pitch. Popped up into left. Cole Edwards ranges in. Makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Two down, and we'll get a pinch hitter for Jacksonville State. This is Peyton Mansfield coming in to hit for Collins. Mansfield playing in his 11th game, batting .077. Right-handed hitter against the righty Carlson. Silas at first with 2 outs. Carlson comes set. Here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat, just to the left of the Jacksonville State dugout. No balls and a strike to Mansfield. Stretch, 0-1. Just missed the outside corner. Ball and a strike to Mansfield.
You know, Andy, folks might be asking themselves right now, why is he throwing so many breaking balls? Because people answer that question is that's what he's commanding well right now. He's really commanding that fastball.
Carlson comes set. Now the 1-1. Strike 2. Does that change? At 88?
Yeah, I think.
Or was that maybe a cutter?
Or maybe it's a two-seamer.
No. Ball and 2 strikes to Mansfield. Carlson stretches. And the pitch. Got him swinging. And the inning comes to a close. Auburn still strikeout of the night. K-Cutter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Auburn 19. Jacksonville State nothing. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
It's your day, sounds like.
You look at ASAP.
You deserve Modelo. You persevered through. You deserve this rich golden lager with crisp, refreshing taste. Or if you overcame, you deserve this ice cold reward. Modelo. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Pledge, Chicago, Illinois.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If what you like is getting the highest payouts, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Montgomery is kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Montgomery. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
We go to the bottom of the 6th. Auburn on top 19-0. And I believe we have a new pitcher for Jacksonville State. I think it's Brady Thomas coming over from first base. 6'5", 215 junior from Brandon, Mississippi, Jones College. Thomas 1-1 on the year, 12.60 earned run average. This will be his 7th appearance, his 5th in relief. Make that 6th in relief, 10 innings. 14 earned on the 13 hits, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks, 4 homers. And opponents are hitting .325 against Thomas. Auburn baseball brought to you in part by East Alabama Health, their team of first responders. Proud to provide first aid care at Plainsman Park in every Auburn athletic event. 19 runs on 16 hits for Auburn. No runs, a hit tonight for Jacksonville State, which will have one more at bat coming up from the 7th. Rule is in effect. Steele, Snow, and then Terrell, the schedule of the 3 for Auburn. We may get a pinch hitter for Buck. We'll double check it. We will. Buck take a batting helmet. We'll get Steele and Snow to lead off the inning against the right-hander, Brady Thomas. First pitch. Steele swings and fouls it up and out of play off the left side. The new first baseman for Jacksonville State is Carson Hornick. So Majette stays in the game. He goes to right. Hornick comes in to play first base. Mansfield stays in the game. He's at left. Well, 1 to Steele, high and outside for Thomas.
Andy, the Tennessee Volunteers tonight beat Belmont 4. Kentucky's playing Northern Kentucky. Kentucky's up 24 at the bottom, 8th up, and Lexington.
1-1. Steele fouls it back, 1-2.
And how about this one? The bottom of the 6th in Louisville, Kentucky. Bellarmine 9, Louisville 2.
Bellarmine?
Bellarmine 9, Louisville 2. The bottom of the 6th in Louisville, KY.
1-2. Steele takes it low from Thomas. Thought he had strike 3. 2-2. Will we see Carlson in the 7th, or will we see someone else in the 7th for Auburn? Try and close this one out with Auburn leading 19-0. 2-2. Inside, count goes full to Steele. Doubled in the first, struck out, lined out, and struck out. Everybody in Auburn's starting lineup tonight with a base hit, except one, and everybody has scored at least a run in the starting lineup tonight for Auburn. 3-2 pitch. Steele drives one deep to right, but foul. Off of the press box windows down there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Auburn to pick up win number 37 of the season tonight. 3-2 to Steele. Front of that one, passing it to the Jacksonville State dugout. Full count to Steele. The wind and the pitch. This is inside, and Lucas is aboard with a leadoff single, or excuse me, a leadoff walk. And here's Eric Snow. Bristol Carter in the on-deck circle for Auburn. Eric Snow's been on base 3 times tonight. Scored a couple runs. Raised his average. 283. Fastball in there for a strike from Thomas. $19 runs on 16 hits for Auburn. No runs on a hit tonight for Jacksonville State. Here's the 0-1. This is outside. Ball in, strike to Snow. Lucas Steele with the lead at first. Now the 1-1. Chopper left side. Third baseman Silas Fields throws on the run and gets Snow at first. Still moves down to second. Nicely played by Sam Silas at third base. One down, and here's Bristol Carter for the Tigers.
I think it's Jet Johnson.
Oh, it's Jet Johnson. Not number 5, it's number 9. Jet is 0 for 2 this season with a run scored. Made 1 start for Auburn offensively this season. Steele gets his lead at second. Stretch in the pitch. Johnson takes it outside for ball 1. Bub Terrell had a pretty good night. 3 doubles. 3 for 4 on the evening for Bub. Drove in 4, scored twice. 1 out. We're in the top of there, or the bottom of the 6th, with Auburn on top 19-0. Now the 1-0. Drops in for a strike. Ball in to strike to Johnson. Freilich on deck for the Tigers. A ball and a strike to Jet Johnston. Stretch in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Downstairs, Brad Law. Go, Brad.
Andy, thank you. Here with Gary and Samantha. What a fun night this has been. And I want to start with Tom here. What that felt like.
Real. It was fantastic. I knew he could do it, but what a moment. For sure. Very happy for him.
All right, Dad, your emotion.
Just like she said, just happy for Andrew. I mean, he comes, he continues to work every day. So glad he got the opportunity. And just, happy for him. He is coming from Birmingham Southern. Had a lot of success at Birmingham. So again, just thankful he got that opportunity.
You quickly here, Andy, and we'll come back.
Johnson a strikeout. That brings Freilich to the plate. A runner at second base with 2 outs. And the first pitch to Chase. Inside. Go ahead, Brad.
All right. So Andrew and transferred from practices. What has it been like for the family to have them in the same place?
Heaven. We get to go to the games together, go home together. It's been great.
And the way that Samuel has pitched has become, a real cornerstone for this team on Friday nights in SEC play. Dad, what's that been like for you to watch?
I mean, it's great once again to see him, like, how hard he's worked and that, be good for him, I guess, say this to see the fruit of his work and, just the confidence that he has on the mound and really the confidence that the coaching staff has in him and really the preparation from Coach Tiefert and Fox and to prepare him for those starts are really good.
Do we have Andrew's home run ball?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Thank you guys for the time, Wardy. Thank you. Andy, back to you.
2-1 count to Freilich, swing and a miss. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brad will be on the field for postgame interviews. Somehow I think that Andrew Button is going to get a shot on the postgame show.
Yeah, no doubt.
2-2 to Freilich. Runner at second base. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Auburn on top 19. Here's the stretch of the pitch. Inside to Chase. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Next up for Auburn, the Tigers play at Ole Miss Thursday night at 6:30. Our coverage begins at 6:15 from Swayze Field in Oxford. 7 o'clock is game time on Friday. That game has been moved to a 7 o'clock start. 3-2 pitch. Outside, Freilich walks. And here is Derek Fabian. He's been on base 3 times tonight, a couple walks and a single. He's driven home a couple runs. Hitting .251 on the season, 5 homers and 33 runs batted in for the Auburn starting shortstop. He bats with runners at first and second and 2 outs in the 6th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Thomas coming over to pitch tonight. Jacksonville State starting the game at first base. Stretch in the 0-1. Fastball just missed a little bit low. 1-1 the count. Lucas at second. And Chase at first. Swing and a miss by Fabian. A ball and 2 strikes.
Break a ball. Not any of our hitters have seen that pitch very well. It's amazing. You just bring this guy to the bullpen. The ball comes up. That's a tight 12-6 breaking ball.
1-2 to Fabian, the pitch. Got him swinging. The inning comes to no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 7th in a run rule game. Auburn 19, Jacksonville State nothing. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Enjoy baseball and softball season on the Plains with live sports radio presented by Alpha Insurance. Auburn Sports Network broadcasts are available with no delay at both Plainfield Park and Jane B. Moore Field. Every grand slam, stolen base, and strikeout, yours with no delay. Look for the live sports radio kiosks around the ballpark. Live sports radio lets you take the broadcast with you at every football game, plus home men's and women's basketball games, baseball, and softball. Live sports radio presented by Alpha Insurance.
Traffic now. But later, there's a nice cold brew. Modelo, the mark of the fight. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know all your patience is paid out in gold. Remain calm for humps, bumper to bumper. You are a fighter. Modelo is yours. Modelo, the mark of the fight. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Port, Chicago, Illinois.
Auburn trying to wrap things up here in the 7th. Tigers lead at 19-0, and Auburn goes back to the bullpen. A Ford F-150 call to the bullpen to Mason Cook, junior right-hander, 6'1", 197, out of Omaha, Nebraska, transferred from Creighton. Cook on the year, no record, an ERA of 0. It's just his third appearance. 2 innings. It was a run. It was unearned on a hit, a strikeout, a walk, no homers, and opponents are hitting 125 against Mason Cook. And Jet Johnston stays in the game to play first base. So it's Jet Johnston at first, Andrew Dutton at second, Eric Snow at third, Derek Fabian at short, Cole Edwards in left, Klepsch in center, Rembert in right, Fralick behind the plate, and Mason Cook is asked to close this one out with Auburn leading 19-0 as we go to the top of the 7th. Hornig, Blauser, and Thomas, the scheduled 3 for Jacksonville State. Goes down to second, about ready to get up, back to action. If Auburn does close this one out, friends, and to our stations down the line, we will get in all of our local breaks before Reaches make postgame show. So stay tuned for that. Tigers lead 19-0. And Carson Hornig will lead it off against Mason Cook. The Creighton transfer fires. Fastball in there for a strike at 90. Ron Cohen, Brad Law, Andy Burcham with you from Plainsman Park tonight. 0-1 to Hornig. This is down and in. Well, we've covered no mayonnaise on burgers and no lettuce on burgers. At least that's my rules tonight.
Pretzels.
Ben's Pretzels. Yeah, 1-1. Fly ball deep into the gap in left center field. Edwards on his horse, and it's over his head into the canyon. That will get to the wall, and Hornig pulls into second base with a double. I thought that Edwards was going to get there. He kind of overran that one out there.
He did overrun that. He put himself in a position to catch that ball. Just got the glove up a little bit late. Not an easy play.
No. Hornig is on with the leadoff double, and that brings a pinch hitter to the plate for Jacksonville State. Number 19, Cade Miles, will hit for Blauser. Miles batting .308 in 12 games this season. Hornig gets his lead down at second. Straight in the pit. Cook misses outside and high. Stretch. Here's the 1-0 to Miles. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike. .6:30 on Thursday, 7 o'clock on Friday, and 1:30 on Saturday are the scheduled times for Auburn at Ole Miss. Miles that one up the left side of the play. Here 15 minutes prior to first pitch each day and tonight at Swayze Field. Don't forget Auburn softball. This Friday, the Tigers in South Florida from Tallahassee, first round of the NCAA tournament at 11. Broadcast 10:45 with Britt Owen on the call on WEGL 91.1 FM. 1-2 to Miles. Again, fouls at left side out of play. Hudson Wahlberg on deck. Nobody out. A runner down at second base for Jacksonville State. Now the 1-2. Ground ball to the third baseman. Snow charges, fields, throws to Johnston over there for the first out. And the pinch hitter is Matthew Cash.
Andy, for those who are in town tomorrow and you're looking for something to do, head out to the AU Club and support this golf.
They look for a regional championship tomorrow. They have an 18-stroke lead over Texas A&M after round 2.
Is that good?
I think that's really good. Cash tried to hold up on the slider. He could not.
I mean, literally, you're watching future PGA professionals play on this golf
Yes.
team, and what incredible job Nick Kleinert has done with that program.
Stretch. Pitch to Cash. Strike two. Clace Beauregard with Kennesaw State is the leader after round two at 8 under. Jackson Coyban is 7 under. Brandon Valdez, 6 under. Carson Baquet, 6 under. Is that good?
So,
I agree. 0-2 pitch to Cash. Here it is. Got him swinging. And Auburn is within an out of a win and another shutout for this Auburn pitching staff. 2 down.
You know what that means, Andy, right?
I don't. What does it mean?
Shutout usually gets pitcher BP.
Really?
So all the pitchers get to take batting practice. That's how Butch used to have it set up. I don't know if he's still doing that or not.
Here's Walburn. Backup catcher. Pitch to it. Strike.
So there's a lot of pitchers in the dugout.
Yeah.
We're like, let's get this done.
Yeah. A little bit of pressure right now on Cook is what you're saying.
Pitcher BP. Pitcher BP.
0-1 to Walburn. High fly ball into left. Edwards is back at the track, and it's off the wall, and a run comes home to score, and it's 19-1.
Wow, I had to say it.
You really never should have said a word.
I absolutely blew it.
That is on you, athletic director.
It really is.
Auburn with a double off the monster and left. It's a 19-1 ball game. Yeah. And here's Caleb Johnson. Johnson 0 for 2. He's flied to left and popped up or grounded out to first. First pitch strike from Cook. It's a guy in Cook that can be a piece for this Auburn team down the stretch of the season. Out of that bullpen. Now the 0-1. Line drive into right field for a hit. On a hop. They'll hold up the runner at third. Throw comes back in. It's cut off. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Single to right by Johnson. And here's Ace Williamson. Williamson 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to center. Runners at the corners with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Auburn on top 19-1. Stretch by Cook. The pitch. Swing on a miss. It's down in.
Really, these guys are really struggling against Mason's breaking ball.
Now the 0-1 pitch to Williamson. Fastball. He took it up the left side off the screen. 0-2.
How about a little back foot breaking ball right here? Take it to the house.
I'm all for it. No balls and 2 strikes to Williamson. Folks on their feet. Auburn trying to close out the regular season at home with a big, big win. The 0-2. Bounced up there. It's blocked by Fraley. Official attendance for this season. A school record 163,797.
And we're just getting started.
Yes.
Just getting started.
One ball and 2 strikes, the count to Williams. Stretched by Mason Cook. And the pitch. Got him swinging. It gets away from the catcher. And all he has to do, Fralick, is tag out the batter, and this is over. Nobody ran, even with 2 outs. And this ball game comes to a close, and Auburn wins for the 37th time this season. Auburn 19, Jacksonville State 1. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Hip pain is not to be taken lightly. It could be a sign of hip impingement. If pain, stiffness, or limping persists, see a hip specialist at the orthopedic clinic. Treatment includes non-surgical options, but if surgery is needed, minimally invasive arthroscopic hip surgery is only available locally at the orthopedic clinic. Don't wait. Schedule an examination today. Call for an appointment, 334-749-8303, or visit theorthoclinic.com.
Big eating in Auburn and Opelika means Big Mike's Steakhouse, famous for high-quality steaks cooked to perfection on an open-fire grill served in a relaxed, rustic atmosphere. It's happy hour at Big Mike's every Wednesday and Thursday from 4 to 6 and half off select appetizers, draft beer, and well drinks. And don't forget, a Big Mike's gift card will always be the perfect gift for big city